Well, isn't that interesting, everybody? Hello, and
you did not just start it.
Welcome back
You
to
did not.
the McDonCast.
Did you seriously?
Yeah, we're
never
going.
Tested any of this?
Yeah, it's going. The funnest podcast
This
in
is how-
town.
Okay.
The only podcast around.
Hold up. This is why our audio is bad most of the time.
No, the audio was bad that one time because my dock thing broke. I got a new dock. See, we got a different dock now. So
Because Sam doesn't test the mics; he just presses
the
go.
mics are. I can see if they're working or not on the screen. If they're not working, it'll show up on the screen. I do. You don't know that. If you knew that, you would know that. You clearly don't know that because you're saying you don't know that.
I know that.
Okay, anyways, guys, hello and welcome back. I hope you guys are all flibbity, jibbity jamming this week.
We took a week off because I'm so busy.
We took a week off because we were way too busy and had too many things to do.
That's right.
I actually have an exam on Thursday, and I had one yesterday, which is why we didn't film yesterday.
February?
In February. Anyway, starting things. Oh, let me give you guys a brief rundown. We got so much. Okay, we got some banger topics this week. Actually, like big boy news. We got Nintendo and Xbox joining forces. We got Susan Wojcicki is just leaving. She's out. We got How to Train Your Dragon. This time it's Game of Thrones. We got Marvel news. And we are going to be going through all of the trailers that debuted during the Super Bowl. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts, fasten your bus belts, slap the driver to your boat, and tell him to put it in fifth gear. I don't know if the boats have gears, but if they do...
What are you saying right now?
Put the boat in fifth gear.
This is why we can't let him talk for long enough, or else this is what it derails into.
And also, we got Jeff. He's here, too.
Jeff is here.
You guys know Jeff.
Patrick will never be back. He's been replaced with
Patrick's
Jeff.
been replaced with Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff is the new fourth host of the podcast.
How do you feel about this, Jeff?
You know, on the Twitch emote, you can't really tell that there's a little fly buzzing next to him, but when the image is huge, you can see that.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways,
the fly's name? We gotta name the fly?
The fly's name is also Jeff, but he's Jeff the Fly.
This is a stupid bit. I hate this bit.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, he's gonna die anyways.
That's true. Jeff's gonna eat him.
Jeff does tend to eat those.
Although he doesn't look like he noticed him.
Wait. Well, he's not, like, actively looking for... He's saving him for later.
But it's gonna buzz away.
No one can hear you, by the way. So...
I need to know
Okay.
that I'm...
Max is still yelling about the whale, a movie he
has
still has not seen.
I saw a clip of it, though, earlier today, and it looks like a movie.
Nobody's talking about it.
Yep, alrighty, and neither are we. Let's move on. First topic, Nintendo and Xbox Sunrise.
We're also going to talk
Discord
about
launching.
Ant-Man.
Go away, Discord. Shut up.
We're talking about Ant-Man today also.
Yes, we are also going to be reviewing Ant-Man, but not right now. Yes, Max.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Anyway, Nintendo and Xbox are joining forces, and
Kinda.
sorta, maybe, we'll see. But Xbox has promised that should the Activision Blizzard deal go through, they will be supporting Nintendo platforms for, at the very least, 10 years with full feature parity. And he said, what was the other thing he said?
So Microsoft and Nintendo have finalized a legally binding deal to bring Call of Duty games to Nintendo consoles day and date with the other versions.
Day and date with full feature parity, that's what it was.
These ports will be fully featured and contain the same version that releases on PlayStation and Xbox consoles. This deal will currently last for 10 years. So Sam, do you think this will actually happen?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, freaking Call of Duty was on the DS.
Yeah, but the Switch is about as powerful as a Wii.
How powerful do you think a DS is compared to, say, a TI-84
Yeah, but the DS
calculator?
versions of Call
How
of...
many TI-84 calculators do you think it takes to make a DS?
6.
6. Okay, so if it takes 6 TI-84 calculators to make a DS, how many do you think it takes to make a Switch?
Like, probably a couple hundred.
Probably a couple million.
Yeah.
So, I think the Switch...
That's not a comparable thing.
You know that the
You
Switch...
can't just, glue the 84s
You know the
together.
Switch is, like, a million times more powerful than the, 3DS, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so if the regular non-3DS DS can run Call of Duty from like the 360
but those
era.
weren't like full Call of Duty ports. Those were like watered down, completely different games.
No, but the fact that basically a calculator was running even a stripped down version of the game, I think the Switch can. Apex runs on the Switch, be it not well because they don't know how to port that game. But if it had been ported by a team that knew how to port the game, it would have run just fine.
Okay, Sam,
Fortnite runs just fine on the Switch. There's lots of first-person shooter games that run just fine on the Switch. I'm sure they can figure out Call of Duty.
Okay, Sam, real quick for comparison. All right, I'm gonna show you an image. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, this. If this loads, our Wi-Fi is really slow back here. This is Call of Duty on the PS5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty on the DS looks like that.
Well, one of those was a cutscene, and that's like actual game.
The point is,
yeah, obviously they're not comparable to each other. But what I'm saying is
the PS5 is like a million times more powerful than the Switch is.
This is not new. It's not new for them to port Call of Duty games to lower end hardware. This is not a new concept. They've done it before.
But they've never done the full version of the game on the lower hardware.
But Nintendo also has never had a console capable of running something that is considered to be the full version, other than maybe the Wii U.
I think
which they didn't support because
I think the most interesting part about this is that we're on year 7 of the Switch. Pretty much everyone has realized that this will probably be its final year. We get the next console.
Or second to last year.
Next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a 10-year agreement would mean that this is pretty much just going to serve the whole lifespan of whatever the next console is.
Yeah.
So will that next console actually be comparable somewhat to the power levels of the Xbox Series X or PS5?
Now, Nintendo is usually about
a generation behind.
Like the Switch is roughly as powerful as an Xbox 360, give or take.
There's now 2 generations behind.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be unreasonable for them to get whatever the modern version of Call of Duty is to run on an Xbox One. I mean, it might be a little jank.
Yeah,
but absolutely that would be possible. I don't doubt that that's possible.
Do you expect the next one to literally just pretty much just be the Switch again?
I don't know how Nintendo could go back to separate divisions because they've merged all of their handheld and they've already merged all their teams.
But if a company was to do something weird and nonsensical, it would be Nintendo.
If any company would spend 7 years merging and optimizing their teams for a specific thing, and then backpedal and do the opposite of that next generation, yes, absolutely, Nintendo's the one to do that.
And then be like, HDX, guys, HDX and Wii 3.
But I would wager to bet that they learned from the Wii U that that's not, in fact, how you...
You hope they've learned.
I would hope that they've learned that changing completely the course of your business is not a great way to maintain an audience, because the Wii was great. Everyone loved the Wii. They sold 6 million of them, something like that. 100 million of them. I was way off. That sold 100 million.
6 million is a horrible failure.
Well, the Wii U I think sold 12. So yeah,
sold 13.
13. I knew that one. But, so 100 million Wiis to 13 million Wii U's. That's horrible. But that's because they completely pivoted as to what their main appeal was.
And they were poor at marketing and game development.
Now, with the Switch, they found a niche. They found a niche that is huge. And they did a really good job of capturing that niche. I don't think, from a consumer perspective or a business perspective, that it would be a good idea to now abandon that principle. Because consumers want the Nintendo portable handheld. That's what they've always wanted. The Game Boy has always outsold the NES. The DS and 3DS have always outsold whatever their home console was.
The DS outsold the Wii.
I think the 3DS to this day is still the best selling, or the 3DS family is still the best selling console ever. I'm pretty sure if you take all the different 3DSs.
It's the PS2.
it's sold more than all the 3DSs combined?
The DS sold more than all the 3DSs combined.
Okay, well, whatever. You get the idea. Their handhelds sell better than everything else.
PS2 sold 180 million units or something stupid
Now,
like
I think
because it was a DVD player and it was the cheapest one at the time.
Yeah, that's
So
kind of
like 80 million people bought it just because it was a cheap DVD player.
that's kind of unrelated. But I think maybe if they make I think what they could do that would be a little weird, but I could definitely see them doing this, is they make a Switch portable, like just a stripped down version of the Switch.
Like the mini?
Yeah, kind of like a Switch.
Or the Lite, the Switch
like a
Lite.
Switch Mini. Or, yeah, like a smaller, more revised Switch Lite.
A smaller Switch Lite?
And then a Switch 2. So it'd be the Switch 2 Mini and the Switch 2.
They're not gonna, they're not going to call it the Switch 2, right?
No, they're going to call it something dumb. But
They'll call it the Flip.
It's going to be a Switch 2. Like, that's what it...
Well,
if they don't want to lose...
We know that...
if they don't want to lose the audience they've built.
We know what they want, that Miyamoto was talking about, like, how they want to change the way video games are played, like, completely.
Yeah, that was dumb.
But then he said, like, none of their tests worked. Like, they wanted you to, like, be able to control games without a controller, but they, like, couldn't figure out a way to do that. But, yeah, they're Nintendo. They're weird.
Hey, I would rather have a company out there at least trying weird stuff than nobody trying weird stuff. Because if no one's trying weird stuff, you don't
the
get any cool
prototype
stuff.
of the Wii U controller was literally a tablet with two Wii, like...
With two Wiimotes glued
with
to
two
it.
Wiimotes glued to the side.
Yeah, they can't hear you. But what Max said is Nintendo is 20 years ahead and 40 years behind at the same time, which is pretty much always true.
A gross cough. Anyway, I think these next couple games for like the next two Call of Duties will probably come out on the Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think these next two will come out on the Switch
if this deal goes through.
I think this deal is going to go through. No one's going to stop them from buying Activision. Who's going to stop them from buying Activision?
Sony. That's what they've been doing for the last like.
They're
4
not going
months.
to win that lawsuit.
We can't assume that it's because it's already been blocked in the EU.
But it's not.
In order for it to merge in the US, they also have to convince the EU to unrestrict it.
I think it'll be fine. I think it'll go through. I don't think anyone's. It's corporate monopolies. They get away with everything.
Not this time, maybe, kind of, sort of.
No, they will though.
In the EU, they didn't. So
they'll just lobby Parliament, and then the Parliament.
You can't. Lobbying's illegal in. Okay.
Lobbying is also not supposed to be done here, but they do it anyway.
No, it's actually perfectly legal in the United States and encouraged in most cases.
Good.
We got a cool thing going over here.
Anyway, my point is that I think the next two games that come out on the Switch be cloud versions. That'll be what it is because they cannot run on the Switch.
That's not full feature parity.
Yeah, it is.
No,
you include you just include everything. You just have it be a cloud version.
But then I can't like play it when.
That's not fully featured for the Switch. It's saying fully featured versions of the game. The game is full. You just can't play it on the go. That's not the game. That's the you.
That's a
you problem.
I consider not having abysmal lag a feature.
That's not.
That is a feature.
Does it say it on the box?
They probably say.
Does it say guaranteed to not have abysmal lag? No,
does it say has abysmal lag? Because it doesn't say has abysmal lag. I consider that the same thing.
They're not going to. No, when they say
cloud version, that translates to has abysmal lag.
When they say fully featured, it means like we're not going to take out.
Yeah, they're not cutting anything out.
The multiplayer because it won't fit on the cartridge. They're saying they're not being like you'll be able to play it with the same control. It's not going to be any of that. They're going to be cloud versions, and then the next system. Whatever Nintendo's next thing is, will probably be comparable in power to an Xbox One, and that will run extraordinarily degraded versions graphically and frame rate wise of whatever the next modern Call of Duties are, and that go on until the end of time. Call of Duties 30 through 40, when we're still in World War II. They'll just keep coming out. Don't they have
robot arms or something now?
They tried that one, but everyone hated it because they were robots.
Good. Everyone loves that.
They had like battle suits.
So is Titanfall?
Pretty much. Everybody hated it because they didn't like Call of Duty in space.
Doesn't everyone want them to make another Titanfall? Why don't they do that?
They were going to, but they canceled it.
Yeah, because then they made Apex.
Because Respawn was like, no, we'll just...
They made Apex instead.
We'll just do Star Wars, I reckon. And then everyone else was like, yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, do Star Wars action.
You know, Apex is a Titanfall spinoff.
It is. It takes place in the same universe.
They were gonna do an Apex standalone, like single player game,
They decided not to.
and then they decided not to because they realized nobody plays Apex Legends.
Kind of like how Fortnite was originally like a single player standalone
No,
game.
that was at least co-op, like
and then
online.
they gave
co-op.
up on that real quick.
No, because why would you not? Why would you do that? And not
Because
the
they
popular
released the
mode?
Battle Royale as a beta version, and then it
Do
did
people
like
still
super
play
well.
Fortnite?
Do people still play Fortnite?
Yeah,
Still play Fortnite.
I don't know anyone who still other
Okay.
than you, because you play Fortnite. You're a Fortnite gamer.
Well, we stream Fortnite, so people are definitely still playing it because
I don't know. Maybe it's you. You're the only one. Maybe that's
maybe
why
I'm
they're
the
watching
only
you.
guy
All 20 people interested in Fortnite are just watching you every day.
possible. But then what are the other Fortnite streamers?
Chatting.
They'd be just chatting. That's a different category. Anyway,
moving on. Speaking of it's not being relevant anymore, Susan Wojcicki. It's Wojcicki, right?
Mm-hmm.
The infamous CEO of YouTube since 2014. I thought she had been with the company longer, but she hasn't.
Well, she's been with Google since its founding.
She's been with Google for like 20-some years. And then
I believe she joined Google. Well, Google was founded in her garage. Like her dad, like lent out their garage to the founders of Google because her sister was one of the founding members of Google. And I think she was brought on like
yes, she's been involved.
I believe she was their 16th employee.
So she's been involved in Google since 1998, and then she's been the YouTube CEO since 2014.
Yeah.
So she is stepping down as the CEO of YouTube. She has made an agreement with Alphabet and Google CEO Sundar Pichai to take on an advisory position at Google and Alphabet Inc., the shadow corporation that no one knows what they do.
They just own Google.
Why?
Because it was confusing that they had Google. They had Google, the search engine like service, and they had Google, the like Google Inc. that like owned all their stuff.
Yeah.
And so they changed. You know how Facebook changed their name to Meta, but Facebook still exists.
Yeah, but the company didn't change anything. They just changed the name.
Yes, it was that. They did the same thing. But
So Google is no longer a company?
Google is a search engine owned by Alphabet.
But I thought Google was its own company.
It is. It's owned by Alphabet.
If Google is already a company, then what's the point of Alphabet?
It owns Google. And also Waze and also all the other stuff that they own.
Hold up. You said the point was to differentiate between, the point was just to have, Google be the search engine, and then the company is a different thing, right?
Well,
or has a different name.
Yeah.
But if there's a Google the search engine, and then a Google the company, and then the Google the company
No,
is by
Google the
Alphabet.
company is the search engine.
What?
There's a Google company that makes the Google.
Yep.
There's Alphabet that owns the company that makes the Google.
Yep.
Alphabet also owns YouTube and Waze and a billion other things.
Yeah.
Now, there are also some other companies that have Google in the name, like Google Experiments, Google, whatever, back when Google, was the name of their whole thing. But they are now owned by Alphabet.
I feel like they could have just kept Google and everything.
Yeah, kind of like how Facebook could have just kept being called Facebook.
Well, that was because Mark Zuckerberg's a weirdo.
It's the same. They did the same thing.
But why? This makes it less everybody.
You know how Facebook is a
Facebook
company
did that
owned
because
by Meta?
But Facebook did that because Mark Zuckerberg's just a weirdo who wanted to be in the metaverse.
They're all weirdos.
But no, changing your name from Google to Alphabet doesn't do anything.
Neither does changing your company from Facebook to Meta.
But
nothing actually changed when he made the name.
But that didn't make any sense. But it was we want to do metaverse stuff more. So it's okay, you're called Meta now.
Yeah, this was
What are you gonna be in the alphabet more? Why did you change the name?
Because they wanted to change their name.
Just weird. It makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. The point is,
they wanted to be more shadowy.
It's Susan Wojcicki. She's gonna be an advisor for them. She will be replaced by YouTube Chief Content Officer Neil Mohan, who will also take on the role of Senior Vice President and Head of YouTube. Mohan was praised by Wojcicki as a terrific leader, and shortly after being promoted to the position, he gave further comments on the integration of Web3 technology. He hopes to integrate the technology to YouTube to make it more immersive, in quotes.
Whatever that means.
This integration could include the metaverse and NFTs, which he commented on by saying, "We believe new technologies like blockchain and NFTs allow creators to build deeper relationships with their fans." Sam, I know you're a big crypto bro.
Oh, I'm a big,
You
huge
love NFTs,
fan of
you love-
NFTs and crypto.
You love Bitcoin and Dogecoin.
I notoriously never hate on those
Ethereum.
things.
You're a big fan. What do you think of buying YouTube channel banners with NFTs?
What is that?
Can you make your profile icon an NFT already?
Any digital asset can be.
I know on YouTube.
As
Can
long
you
as you
make
pay
like
them
your
to-
profile guy an NFT? And will it look?
I mean, you could.
Well, it look. You know,
it
how-
wouldn't be officially. It's not like Twitter where it's officially supported.
Yeah.
But you could do it. Like it would just be a PNG.
but it's not officially supported.
No.
So that's what they're gonna do first, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Is just have like you can have it be an NFT, and then instead of a circle, it's like a hexagon or whatever Twitter does.
Maybe they'll add the. You know how Twitter Blue you can like verify yourself, and then you can do like the NFT profile pictures, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll do that on YouTube. Like if you have YouTube Premium, you also get a little red check mark next to your name. Make your profile picture in it. Because you know how Facebook, they announced that they're doing their own Facebook verified thing?
What? They're
Yeah,
all doing
can,
that now?
You can pay $5 to verify yourself on Facebook.
You see that Twitter's locking, what is it?
Okay, so Twitter is making it so SMS
Yeah, it's no longer a
two-factor
viable
authentication
way
is...
to do two-factor
No.
authentication.
It's still viable
Well, you
if
have to
you
pay
pay
for it.
for Twitter
You have to
Blue.
pay for Twitter Blue.
Otherwise, you have to use an authenticator app.
Or
So if you
can just use your email?
Hang on. So two-factor authentication apps are more secure.
Yeah.
So you have to pay
To use
a less safe version,
But the more
of
convenient
two-factor
version.
authentication. But the more convenient
You're paying
one
for the convenience of being less
of being
safe.
less safe.
Good job, Elon.
It makes a lot of sense.
Elon is a genius because he's rich.
I love his Twitter takes, not because I love
the
what he
part-
says on Twitter, but because everything he says is really stupid.
I love the part where I have to have all of his tweets in my timeline now because he artificially
because he
boosted
created
himself.
that. And okay, we're getting off track here, but
We're talking about tech and weird CEOs wanting
yeah.
to
So
create NFTs.
YouTube, honestly, I think YouTube might be hecka mega.
Why does anyone want to do this job?
So yeah, number one,
Everyone just yells at you all the time,
it's a
and no one
thankless
is
job,
ever
and
happy.
everyone
No one
blames
is
you
ever
for
happy.
like everything that happens
Yeah.
on YouTube. Like to be fair, to give credit to Susan Wojcicki, she pioneered a lot of what makes YouTube the only viable
you
social
can make
media
the case
career.
that modern YouTube began in like 2015, 2016, and that was like
the
first couple real
she
years.
spearheaded
in
the
charge.
the monetization program for YouTube.
Yeah, the way YouTube works financially now is completely different from when it did in 2014.
Yeah, like that. A big part of that was Susan there. And she really doesn't get enough credit for that. I feel
No,
like
because every time there's a minor issue, people yell at her endlessly.
she kind of catches a lot of crap, and of course she's
like
also
she's the one coding all the
she's also been a
algorithms.
part of some huge mistakes.
Oh, yeah, for
like
sure.
removing the dislike button.
Which
Remember
they're not.
that?
They're not going to add that back.
No, they're not going to add that back. They should. They absolutely should. That
No.
was a moronic decision.
The main things people are mad about on YouTube is like dislike button, too many ads on the videos, and like fair use stuff.
None of which is
And the
going to
fair
change anytime
use
soon.
stuff you can't fix.
That's a government issue, really.
Well, it's not even really the government. It's like the copyright owners who just have like bots flag every single video.
Yeah, like YouTube
that
does their
sees
best
it,
to
and
handle
you,
that stuff.
because you can't, and they'll never ever like let you use it because they don't want you to.
Mhm.
Like Universal flagging everyone for like saying the title of Jurassic Park 2 in their video, like YouTube can't really do anything about that because
Yeah,
Universal will just keep doing it. But like the dislike button thing was all them. The whole the adding more ads, like the double ads that are unskippable, that was all YouTube.
Yeah,
The whole, remember YouTube Red?
still a thing.
Remember when YouTube Red tried to be its own streaming service and it
Yeah,
failed
they tried to do
horribly?
original shows.
That was Susan Wojcicki probably.
I mean, any of those big decisions she was obviously aware of. Like,
Yeah.
again, I'm not saying she was perfect, but I'm saying a lot of what makes YouTube, and I can't state this enough, the only viable platform for long-term social media careers
Vimeo. We can all use Vimeo.
is in big part. Oh, Nick's calling.
Nick's calling.
Is in big part a result of.
Answer.
No, I just.
Well, the frog's gone.
He'll come back. Is in big part credited to Susan Wojcicki. But what I wanted to say is, do you think that because of the I don't know how much you know about the lawsuit that might change the way that like the internet recommends content in
What's
general?
this now? Is this another one of the? Oh, remember the whole kids thing?
So
That was also YouTube's fault when they were advertising to all those children for years in violation of the law.
Section 230. So
Oh, Section 230, everyone's always yelling.
Yeah, but this is like this is the first actual big lawsuit about it. So, and it's not just YouTube, it's Gonzalez v. Google. So, they are suing Google because YouTube recommended content that radicalized a bunch of people and turned them into, like ISIS members, whatever. And that
What's this called? Gonzalez versus Google?
Mm-hmm. And so they are arguing that like algorithmic content is a violation of Section 230 because you're not allowed to have a publisher if you are a platform, and that's been like the precedent since I believe 1997, or sometime in the 90s.
1996. Telecommunications Act of 19.
Yeah, so that's been the case since 1996. Do you think that because if Gonzalez wins this case,
which they won't,
which they probably won't, but if they do, because this is a Supreme Court case. This is not...
What are they... So I'm trying to... So it looks like they're arguing that... So... Remember, like...
Because we do have a few Supreme Court justices who have
remember,
already
like, 8 years
voiced
ago
opinions on
when there
this.
was all those terrorist attacks in Paris?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the family of one of the victims who is suing Google for the algorithm turning the terrorist into, like, an ISIS.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like they won't be able to, like... How do you prove that in court?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, how do you not... Like, you could say, like, the algorithm was recommending them ISIS videos. Everyone always says that, but where are these ISIS videos?
It's not as big of a problem now. It was a bigger
I'm
issue.
guessing it was back then, but, like, you how do you make the case that it was, like, solely that? And not, like, he was already interested in joining ISIS before... And then he went on and, like, found videos of ISIS on YouTube.
And that's all stuff that will have to be...
Because even back then, the algorithm wasn't like, oh, you're watching trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron, here's ISIS shooting captives. It's like, that's not how it worked back then either. So, like, you have to, like, seek out something at least similar to that.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how this parses out. But if... If YouTube is found liable for recommending terrorist content, then
their argument is whether Section 230 applies to these algorithm-generated recommendations is of enormous practical importance. Interactive computer services constantly direct such recommendations in one form or another at virtually every adult and child in the United States who uses media. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't really know exactly.
So the big question is...
The whole Section 230 was whether or not, like, you're a publisher or a platform, right?
It's whether or not you can be held legally responsible
for stuff put on your platform.
For content published on your platform, yes.
Right.
And right now, the answer is no. You are not legally responsible. And you're not legally responsible because you're not
curating it.
You're not curating it.
Yeah.
If you curate it, then you have a degree of responsibility.
So they're saying whether or not
you have a responsibility then not to curate or to publish
allow
bad stuff.
Yeah,
because then you are liable for that.
They're saying
all the bad stuff being
the
said.
algorithms are curation,
and since the algorithms are curating and or amplifying certain types of content,
you can definitely make the case that they're amplifying. I don't know if they're like curating content. It's not making anything unavailable to you. It's showing you stuff that you might want to watch based on other stuff. That's
true.
It's definitely elevating stuff to the top, but it's not taking stuff away. Algorithms.
But by elevating stuff to the top, you are changing whose voices are heard. You're making some voices louder than others, which is what a publisher does.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
The big question here is, what does YouTube look like without algorithms?
They would find a way around. I don't know what
because they'd have two options.
I feel like YouTube would go away.
They would have to moderate every single video published, which is unfeasible.
Which they wouldn't do.
Which, if that were to happen, that would mean only specially allowed creators, only people that are already brand safe.
I feel like what would happen,
big corporations like CBS, whatever, those kind of companies. That would be all YouTube is. Or they would have to allow literally everything with zero moderation.
And there's no monetization.
And there's no monetization, and...
That's what I feel like is more... I feel like
and the feed would have to be like chronological.
I feel like a combination of the two would be applied, where it's like you're not monetized unless you're like a proven brand or you're a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Like CBS, NBC, Disney, like they would all be monetized because they're big, trustworthy corporations.
And McDonCast gets no money.
But like, we don't get any money anyway.
But if we were big, we would get no money.
But like, and like Rhett and Link, who are like 20 million subs, big brand, family friendly, right? They would be monetized because they have a proven track record of like not being shaky. But like,
you would see the return of MCMs.
Yeah, it would pretty much just be run by MCMs.
And all of YouTube would be run by MCMs, which we already know.
All the MCMs would promise that you would be monetized if you're part of their network, and that just wouldn't happen.
Well, because YouTube would have to be in discussion with third parties that are responsible for vetting creators.
What would happen is
that's what the
all
MCMs
the corporations would buy all the YouTube channels that are like big enough but not trustworthy enough, bring them into their brand, and then just like homogenize them.
I mean, maybe those are a few of the ways that YouTube would have to change.
You can't run modern YouTube without an algorithm.
Not
like,
modern
it's just
YouTube,
not
absolutely
possible.
not. No,
like,
it would have to completely.
You can't really
change.
run any website without an algorithm.
And that's the big thing: is this would affect Facebook, Instagram.
Also, users would go down without the algorithm. Everyone whines about the algorithm, but the algorithm is the thing keeping you on the website.
Replace the word algorithm for audience, and every platform makes a lot more sense. So it's not, the algorithm isn't deciding whether or not you fail or succeed. Audience decides whether you fail or succeed.
Yeah.
But for the most part, every modern social media iteration, save for, I don't know, maybe Snapchat, is completely algorithmically driven. Yeah. Instagram continues to strip away more of its friend-based features for
it wants you to be
or algorithmic
wants to be
features.
Facebook. It just wants to be
Facebook. Is already it's already fully algorithmic. TikTok is just an algorithm.
Is 100% algorithm.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing else.
And which
I wonder how that would apply to them.
So there are only two options that they can take.
Imagine if you can't run an algorithm on TikTok. You just can't have TikTok. It just dies.
Yeah, it just can't exist.
It doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, that's the same with Instagram Reels, YouTube, all those things. You can't have those.
Which is why I feel like it won't happen. Like,
now, alternatively,
you would fundamentally change the way all social media platforms work down to like a base level.
Now, would that be a bad thing necessarily?
I don't know. But the government would not allow it.
Would the world be a better place?
The world would be a better place without social media, like, total. Like, that I can guarantee you. But the idea that the U.S. government or any global government would be like, we're just gonna let Twitter die. They're never gonna do that. Because the way that, like, the way that the media and the political groups influence people now is 95% through social media apps. If you take those away, the whole evolution of the way political campaigning has been done for the past 30 years has to change.
Keep in mind, this isn't going through Congress. This is going through the Supreme Court. The guys who notoriously don't care about any of that because they don't have to, because their term limits are infinite and they don't actually have to market themselves at all.
Until they die.
So, and a few justices have already voiced opinions going in both sides. I don't have the exact name. I mean, I'm sure they're probably in here. I don't have the exact names of which ones are stating for which side. But we have a couple judges who have already said stuff, kind of saying they might go this way, kind of saying they might go another way. There's the podcast dog. Hello. Hello, Gina. Well, we don't have any food out. It's fine. Hello, baby dog. What you doing? Hi. Oh, they can't see you. There's a bag in the way. Oh, she's running away now. Okay, bye-bye. But yeah, so I guess that's basically... So anyway, the reason... I know we've kind of been talking about this for a minute now, but the reason why I brought this up...
Can we use Board Monkey Ape NFTs as our profile icon?
Do you think Susan Wojcicki is abandoning ship before YouTube completely dies?
No, I mean, I think... When is this... I mean, no.
Because this is set to be heard...
Otherwise, she would leave Google. If she's staying on...
Well, I think she's retiring, but she's staying on in an advisory
She's not
role.
that old, but also, like, she's been doing it forever. People are constantly yelling about her about everything. She's already made like hundreds of millions of dollars.
She could retire if she wants to. If Google goes down,
she has
she'll be fine.
She has no reason to keep working there.
I mean, maybe she has stock in Google. I'm sure she has stock in Google.
But that's why she didn't leave. Like,
Yeah.
if she was just like, I gotta get out of here before this explodes,
she would have bailed and sold all
she
her
would have
stock.
completely bailed. But because she's like, I guess I'll hang around on the
Let's do
office.
a Google and see if Susan would, if it's public, if it's public record.
If what is public record?
Own stock. I don't speak Polish, but I do want to have it, so I don't have to type her name.
Owns stock? 100% she owns stock.
Well, I know she owns stock, but I want to see if it's public information if she owns it in Twitter or in Google.
Google? Oh, yeah, that's probably part of her payment.
Yeah, I'm assuming it is, but I just want to see if it's public. If we can find out how much of
I don't think you can't find people's like private stock assets.
Sometimes you can if they're public.
You can find her
figures,
net
you
worth.
can sometimes. Okay, yeah, I don't see it.
But she's very wealthy.
She has to. It's usually executives and stuff like that. A big part of their payment is in stock.
I feel like she's just like, I'm getting older.
I don't want to do this
I've made
anymore.
a bunch of money. Everyone is constantly yelling at me.
This job sucks. And
no one
hates
ever
me.
tells me I'm doing a good job. Why do I want to stick around? I'll just leave. And if the next guy screws it up, worse. If the next guy completely screws it up, then she can be remembered as like the
hero
good one.
Yeah.
Who like kept it from collapsing.
I can already see 5 years from now the the Thanos. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Oh, to Susan Witchy, yeah.
That's. I can see it now. I might as well just make it on my phone and have it set to post in 3 years.
As soon as Bored Ape Monkey NFT shows up as like Jake Paul's profile icon, you'll see those memes everywhere all the time.
Did you see that they made a video game?
Jake Paul?
No. Well, Logan Paul did, but it's not really a game. That's not important. It's a
mobile
scam.
game?
No, it's a scam. It's called Crypto Zoo. That's not important.
Logan Paul crypto.
I'm talking about the Bored Ape Yacht Club game.
They made a game?
They made a game. And I believe it cost something like $13,000 to play for 2 weeks or something like that. Like you have to pay like on an hourly basis to play the game.
How are they still around?
Because they made boatloads of money when they were selling NFTs.
Buff idiots.
Yeah.
If he bought an NFT, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, you just are.
There's a guy, and I won't say who, at a restaurant that I work at, who owns several NFTs in Smiling Friends. You know the Smiling Friends HBO show?
Yeah?
Yeah, so they launched a line of NFTs when the show came out. He owns like several of those. And like when he
in the Smiling Friends NFTs.
And I told him when he bought it's not any of the bosses, to be clear. I don't even know if you know who the guy is, but he was like, "Oh no, they're gonna be worth a lot one day." Like, bro, they're already going up. They've been going up ever since I bought them.
That's gonna last 3 seasons. And
I guarantee you they are worth like 13 cents now, and he spent like thousands of dollars on them.
That's just why. Don't buy crypto, idiots.
Well, okay, crypto coins are not as bad.
There is an argument that crypto is maybe a smart investment. There is not in any way.
NFTs are not.
NFTs are the dumbest thing ever.
NFTs have like the technology itself. I'm sure has applications.
I think my favorite thing about
so far the only applications for it that we've seen is scams.
I think my favorite thing about NFTs is literally anything can be an NFT. This image of me holding up a Blu-ray copy of the 4 Shrek films. Make this an NFT, guys.
You could screenshot it and
sell
then have
it
it minted.
for $4,000.
You could screenshot that, have it minted, and make it into an NFT.
I'm gonna make. How much does it cost to make an NFT?
It's expensive. It costs quite a bit
to make NFT. On average, the cost of creating an NFT ranges from 5 cents to over $150.
Oh, never mind. We should just do it.
If it's like $20, I'll 100% do it.
Yeah, we could definitely just screenshot that and make that into an NFT.
That'll be the official McDonCast NFT.
The only one.
We will never make another one. And then we'll start our own line of cryptocurrency. Anyway.
But yeah, McDon coins. We won't. Hopefully we don't get sued by McDonald's.
They're fine. They're fine.
Anyway, okay.
We got all that real estate.
I think we've thoroughly explored this. Oh, anyway, the reason why we keep bringing up NFTs and stuff is the new.
It's because they're a scam and don't buy them.
The new CEO of YouTube has already voiced.
We talked about it
before he was even the CEO. He voiced several several like different programs you
What
wanted to
is
implement.
Web3 technology?
Crypto and NFTs. That is Web3. Like
Is it
that
the
blockchain
metaverse?
technology.
We talked
is
about the
Web3.
metaverse a little bit.
The metaverse is like a virtual world
I know what the metaverse is.
where
It's that
where the assets
VR chat.
where the assets are tied to you through blockchain technology.
It would be really funny if YouTube was like turned into the metaverse.
Because in order for something to have value, and this is just like in general, it has to be scarce. There has to be scarcity.
Yeah, that's
The
how economy
blockchain
works.
is a way to artificially add scarcity to digital assets,
so that there's a reason for you to buy stuff.
so that there's a reason for it to be valuable. That's the
Wow.
only reason why it
I
exists.
can't wait for YouTube to become a metaverse only microtransaction filled NFT written website where where just using the homepage is just like visiting the YouTube comment section.
I can't wait for Horizon YouTube.
No, microtransactions is the future, right? You know that.
What do you mean it is the future? That's
Of
where
YouTube.
we are now.
Of YouTube.
How do you do microtransactions
You want
in
to
YouTube?
subscribe, you got to pay.
That's just, they already have that.
You want to use the like button and comment, pay.
They have that already.
You want to access the trending tab, pay.
That's not going to happen. There's a certain trade-off where if you make it too prohibitive to use, people just won't use it. If you had to pay
None of
to
it
use,
becomes the
if you had
standard
to
on
pay
all
to use the
platforms.
trending tab, you just wouldn't use the trending tab.
That's true, but if you got to pay to use that comment section.
How often do you comment on YouTube videos?
Never, I never do because
Yeah, so then you just wouldn't do it. You only do it because it's free.
You got to pay to subscribe.
No one would comment on a YouTube video
What if you got to pay to subscribe?
They have that already. They have what's it called? Members.
There's members.
Yeah.
But like, you just to subscribe, like generally, you got to pay a monthly fee.
Why would anyone do that?
Is that YouTube?
No, but what do you get from that? There has to be a value to you or you won't do it. That's how that has to be the
No
case.
more HD video, pay monthly.
They did that.
Man.
4K is premium
No,
exclusive.
4K. I'm saying like the 720p locked behind.
I don't think they'd do that because I think then people would actually just.
I think microtransactions are gonna be like fill like literally everything, like YouTube, Twitter, like Netflix. I think Netflix. That's where we're going next for streaming
Netflix
services.
is kind of. I don't think they're gonna.
You know that's right?
I
You
don't
know
think
we're
they're gonna
do
microtransaction
microtransactions.
individual shows though. That doesn't make any sense. People just won't. You don't understand that.
You wanna watch
It comes
season
to a
3?
point where people
Monthly
just
fee.
won't do it. They'll just pirate it.
But okay, that's true. But the whole we'll just pirate it thing has existed like the entire time streaming services have existed.
Yes,
in
but the
general.
only reason why streaming
and people
services
still pay for it.
But
'cause
that's only because they were cheaper. They were cheap enough that it was more convenient than trying to pirate it.
it's not cheap. It's not
It's
cheap
not-
enough now, but people still pay for it.
No, but people are pirating more and more. We know, like I think season 4 of Stranger
But
Things
people
was the
are all-
most pirated show of all time.
But people are also still paying on Netflix and watching stuff on Netflix.
That's true. But as that price goes up, and as their quality of content overall goes down, pirating will go up, and their quality of content generally is going down. Their prices are constantly going up, and you're going to see a lot more pirating.
But I think you'll
Like that only
there is a baseline people who consume entertainment who are just not going to pirate anything because they
Yes,
don't know
that's-
how and they
that's
don't want
true.
to. They will always just pay more because it's for the convenience of it.
But they can't rely on just those guys. They have to compete against other platforms. Like Disney Plus is still competing with Netflix.
What if Disney Plus does it too?
Then people will just pirate
You
what's
want to
on
watch
Disney
more
Plus.
than one season of a show?
The
Monthly
worst
fee?
that like right now, there's a lot of competition.
on
in
that Marvel
streaming.
tab monthly fee. You got to pay monthly Marvel fee.
Tucker,
$5 a
people
month.
will. There is a when the cost gets to a certain point, people will go to the black market. That's like a part of economics
That never happened with cable.
because you couldn't,
Exactly.
but you can with internet television. And yes, you absolutely could with cable.
Oh, here.
As soon as the internet existed, you could do that.
Here's an idea.
Actually, no, it did exist during cable.
Hear me out.
Your neighbor just records it on a VHS and hands it to you. That did exist. What are you even talking about?
Hear me out.
Actually, that's how a lot of content also got through the Iron Curtain in like Russia and stuff. Is like people would sell like USB sticks
it's
with
called
like
the sneaker
seasons of
rabbit.
TV
Anyway.
shows to them.
Here's what we do. You pay $150 a month. There's a series of
Are you just going to
channels.
propose cable?
Yeah, it's just cable.
Okay, yeah, that's not going to thing. Actually, I can't hear you.
What you were just going to say? What were you going to do?
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on. Sam, let's talk about something fun and light.
Yeah, what's up next? What's next on the block?
Well, Sam,
we got
live-action remakes are cool and popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Disney's not the only one in the game now. DreamWorks is developing a live-action feature adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon, Sam.
All right, but like this might actually be cool.
Dean DeBlois, the writer-director of the original animated trilogy, he's coming back. He's going to write, direct, and produce a live-action installment. The film has already been given a release date of March 14th, 2025. Sam, what do you think?
I actually think that actually might work.
Now,
I feel like
so
How to Train Your Dragon actually lends well to a live-action adaptation. Like, we know big CGI dragons with people writing on them works. That's like half of why people watched Game of Thrones.
Yep, and that show that called House of the Dragon.
Yes, and also House of the Dragon, which I don't know if you saw on Twitter when this was announced, but people took this. There's a clip at the very end of House of the Dragon where, spoilers, one character with this really big dragon is chasing another character with a smaller dragon, and they put it next to the clip of How to Train Your Dragon 1.
How is that a spoiler?
Where the big... Because there's only one family that has dragons, so if I tell you that that's happening, then they're obviously fighting. Anyways...
What do you mean? That's the plot of the show.
That's not the plot of the... You don't even know what the plot of the show is, so shut up.
I thought never mind.
It definitely could work. There was a clip of people taking clips
work.
from Game of Thrones, or from House of the Dragon, and clips from the movie, and putting them side by side, and they look very similar.
Now,
I'm saying it could work.
So, the Hollywood Reporter had said this was a...
This is from the stage show.
Stage show play. But the Hollywood Reporter had said that this was going to be a remake of How to Train Your Dragon just in live action, and then Deadline and Variety didn't clarify whether or not this was just like a different thing or a remake of the original one.
It's just there's no way they're going to do an original
If it's a
thing.
remake, that's awfully close to the actual like original movie coming out, though.
How to Train Your Dragon 3 came out
How to Train Your Dragon 3 came out like 4 years ago. How to Train Your Dragon 1 came out, I think, probably 13 years ago. So just like to immediate, like that's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah, 2019. So
that's 4 years ago.
4 years ago. That's plenty.
You're
of time.
already remaking them.
I'm not saying like it needs to exist. Like this doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, but like when Disney remade The Lion King in 2019, The Lion King, the original one, had came out like 20 years, like 25 years before that.
But they weren't remaking it because it needed a remake. The amount of time between the original one and the new one wasn't in their calculation.
It was
for
just because
why.
it's money.
It's because money. And I think that this franchise specifically actually lends very well to live action adaptation because all the characters, for the most part, are just regular human dudes.
Yep.
The writing is genuinely good, which tends to come across a little bit more human when it's done in live action. We know CGI dragons can work and look cool, so that'll be cool.
Yep.
I think that this actually might do really well in live
Toothless
action.
be cute? Can they figure out how to make him cute?
Just do that and make him like just make him in 4K.
Make him scaly?
Yeah, just make him more scaly. Like it's literally so easy.
Such a Toothless in 4K.
I'll
See if
just look
someone's
up-
done like a fan-made live action. But if this is like its own like the sequel thing, I think that would work. I think if it's a straight up remake, I feel like you gotta
like just do this.
You gotta up the ante.
Okay, maybe make his head a little more round. I don't like how narrow this one is, but yeah, just do that.
Like if you're gonna remake the original one, we gotta do PG-13. We gotta up the rating. We gotta do a violence.
Of course.
We gotta do a swear. If we're just gonna do PG, it's just How to Train Your Dragon again, but now Toothless is slightly more scary looking.
No, I agree.
Like, what are we doing?
I think if they make it live action, I would appreciate if they did try to take a little bit tonally from
Apparently,
Game of
they
Thrones.
were talking about how what the budget should be and what the rating would be. They didn't clarify what they had decided on.
So if they want this to be really good, the budget needs to be infinity $1 million because CGI dragons are super expensive.
Well, but they've done it good on a TV budget on HBO.
You know how many episodes per season had dragons in them, Tucker?
Very few.
Very few. Because they were very expensive.
I think
and they got to do a whole movie of that. Now, to be fair, Game of Thrones is like, 12 hours of content per season?
If you remember the original How to Train Your Dragon, most of the movie, it's just Toothless.
That's true.
It's just Toothless and like regular guys.
But Toothless is very expensive.
True,
And
but
you don't think that whole little basin that he's in is not going to be completely CGI also?
I mean, the basin.
You know, when he crashes and he lands in that like lagoon area that he
If
can't
they
get out
want to
of?
save some money, they're going to have to go to a forest and roll camera. They can't just... If they volume this thing...
Oh, they're going to volume
If
this
we're
thing.
just voluming the whole time, I'm not on board.
Now, Tucker, come on. That basin is round. It's perfect.
It's true, it's an
for
oval.
voluming.
Yes. Everything can be an oval if we let it.
Now, again, obviously, I would prefer to see some live action sets, some Viking huts.
If you think about it, like, it's really just like the island, right? There's Burke, which is not that's pretty small.
Burke is a pretty small location.
You got the opening scene with all the dragons, which takes place at night, so you're saving money.
Yeah, you can cover a lot.
And
of
then
your
most of the
stuff there.
movie, it's just Toothless as the and they're just kind of flying.
Yeah,
around.
till the end when
So-
there's the like six.
But
of them.
we've seen movies with like one main cartoon character there the whole time, and it's live action. Like I'm talking like, remember the movie Monster Trucks about the monster that lived in
no
the truck?
one remembers the movie Monster
The book,
Trucks.
but like that was just like the one monster the whole time. That was relatively
till the
cheap
end
to
and then
make.
there's more.
And this one, obviously, you got to do a whole big third act action sequence where they all fly in.
Yeah, they just follow the plot of the
But
movie.
I feel like you could do this for like 150, 175 million. Like if they're
that sounds about right.
if you're blowing like $250 million on the How to Train Your Dragon movie, that's just that's a waste of money. Like that's a monstrous waste of cash.
It would look
And it's
so
not going to make
cool.
that. None of the How to Train Your Dragon movies were ever giant financial hits.
Yeah, but if you make it like a little bit more dark,
Like, I think the
give it a little bit more grit, some cool live action dragons.
So How to Train Your Dragon 3 made about 500 million globally when that came out. And then let me see if I can find How to Train Your Dragon.
Now, alternate take.
thing?
What if they Percy Jackson it? What if they totally screw it up?
Well, no, but it's the guy. It's like the creator of. It's the guy who made the other three.
Rick
movies.
Riordan was a producer in the movie.
That was because he was an executive producer, and that was because they had to like slap his name on it, and he showed up on set for one day and was like,
All right, yep, you did it.
Yeah, I guess you did it. This is not up to me." The highest grossing entry was the second one, which only did like 620 million worldwide.
But I think a live action adaptation.
So
would
this
have
is not $1 billion franchise.
I think it could be though.
I don't. That's
Also,
that's a lot. That's a lot of people.
A lot
you gotta
of this
pick up.
movie's recoup in terms of cost comes from toy sales too.
But one, that's not toy sales aren't really a huge factor in things anymore. Cause
Yeah, not so much anymore.
nobody buys toys.
But you're telling me they're not going to put a Fortnite toothless glider?
Oh my god, Sam!
That's how these things make money.
You gotta get off the Fortnite.
No, I say this because that's what the toys are. They don't make
It's all Fortnite.
they don't make
now.
toys anymore. Yeah, they make Fortnite skins. That's what the toys are.
Max heard Fortnite. I woke up from his nap. But
you get what I'm saying. Like they make up their money in the video game sale. The digital stuff is what sells now. You have to create digital products to sell.
I feel like they also want they want a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Kids. They want a big live action fantasy show. They want a Lord of the Rings.
Now,
the
is
Rings
this a
of Power.
show or a movie?
This is a movie, but they want to do the spin-offs. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if that. Would...
They want to remake all three of the movies. They want to do a spin-off show on Peacock. They want to do.
I think that might be too expensive.
Well, you would just have there'd be one dragon who shows up every 3 episodes.
Yeah, then no one would.
And it's
then it would
mostly
become
about
the
regular
Halo
people.
show if you do that.
But they also in most of the reports, it was they want to do this for multiple movies. They want to remake a lot of their DreamWorks wants to remake a lot of their older stuff in live action, which makes sense. DreamWorks has been around for
because they're gonna do.
DreamWorks has been around for 25 years. They got a pretty extensive back catalog. They're gonna do a Disney, and they're gonna start remaking
Name
their stuff.
one of the things in their catalog other than Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, and How to Train Your Dragon.
Boss Baby.
That does not count.
That counts. That's a thing.
It's not in their back catalog. They're still making it.
Madagascar.
That's DreamWorks.
Yep. Imagine live action penguins in Madagascar.
I don't want to.
It would just be the Smurfs movie. Remember
That
the
would
Smurfs
suck.
movie?
That would not even be good.
No, it wouldn't.
Like none of
their problem is a lot of these are a little too animated.
Yeah,
but also the Lion King was all animated. And they remade that.
Yeah,
So
but that
all
was
bets are
kind of
off.
that was a kind of a different thing though. Like the animals in that movie are not heavily stylized. Like, yes, they're animated, but the lions all look like lions. The giraffes all look like giraffes. The hyenas all look like hyenas.
For the most part, yeah.
Like, in Madagascar, the animals look super goofy.
Yeah, he's standing up on two legs.
Yeah, the zebras walking around on two legs.
They could remake some of their early stuff. They could remake, like, Prince of Egypt, Road to El Dorado.
Okay, Prince of Egypt in live action, that would go hard.
But they wouldn't make that today.
No, that would be too expensive. I actually think that might
It would be too expensive, and that are like much of a religious project would not fly.
Well, no,
but that would cost like
when it first came out.
That would cost like $200 million to make.
Well, the budget for the original one wasn't small either.
Prince of Egypt, $70 million.
In what, like $2004?
In 2000, I want to say like 2002. Oh, 1998.
Yeah, that's a big budget movie.
But also, like, again, you're gonna remake Prince of Egypt, which is like a religious film, for $200 million.
It's a religious film, kinda though. Like it's
based off of it's a Bible.
It's based
story.
off of a Bible story.
It's Moses,
but it had an appeal that went beyond like Bible readers. Like it was kind of like VeggieTales.
But I feel like the problem. I don't like VeggieTales.
No, because like VeggieTales is like a Christian show, but like some people watch it just because it's genuinely like a goofy, funny show.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the problem would be like, how do you make it in a way where like people don't just like write it off as like
just do
one
what
of those
the original
Easter
one did.
Movies.
The original one was just a really strong character-driven story with some really good musical numbers and some really impressive set pieces.
I think like Prince of Egypt, Road to El Dorado, you could remake those in live action. And probably make better films than the original. And then, like...
I would actually argue El Dorado would be harder to make today.
El Dorado's a little more cartoony.
Not even because it's more cartoony, but just because it's a little less... The story does not age as well as I think Prince of Egypt
They'd have to update it.
They would have to change some characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but also they're going to remake Shrek. It's coming. It's going to happen. It's going to look gross, but they're going to do it.
I don't want it.
It doesn't matter. They're going to do it.
Nope, they're not going to do it.
You know they're going to do it.
You Puss in Boots first.
They'll make Shrek 5.
Yeah, but it won't be live action.
What do you think they'll do first? Shrek 5, or get everyone back together, we do another Shrek, or we remake the first Shrek in live action.
Just make Shrek
now
5.
Shrek can swear. Shrek can swear now.
I don't care if Shrek can swear. What was funny is that they couldn't swear.
Now he can fart and swear in the same movie.
I don't care. Why would I care?
Will that make $1 billion?
No. It will not make $1 billion.
I think Shrek 5 can make $1 billion.
I don't think it will do that. How much did Shrek 4 make?
Shrek 4? Shrek 4 did okay. Shrek 2 almost made $1 billion. None of them have done $1 billion, but Shrek 2 almost did $1 billion, and that was in like 2004.
Why would the fifth installment in a franchise make $1 billion?
Because it's the nostalgia kick. It's a requel. You get everyone back together.
Requels are like notoriously not good at that now. Like every requel that's come out in the last 10 years.
It worked for The Force Awakens, Sam.
That's the only one that it's worked for. And that only worked.
It worked for Scream.
Because it wasn't even really a requel. It was just continuing the story.
It worked for Halloween.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Everyone hates those.
Yeah, but they did 3 of them and they made money.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they were, like, good.
They made more money than all the other ones did.
Yeah, but that's just because the audience for movies is bigger now.
Also, Puss in Boots. Everyone's interested again. Everyone saw Puss in Boots.
Yeah, but that's because Puss in Boots
everyone
was like
3 months to go see it, but they did.
Yeah, but that's also because like word of mouth on that movie was crazy because it's just very good movie.
They're gonna have to make a good movie. It'll have to be good. If it's not good, it's not going to do anything.
I don't know if Shrek has that kind of...
If you do Shrek 5, you get Mike Myers, you get Eddie Murphy, you get Cameron Diaz back.
Death kills Shrek now.
You get Shrek's babies grown up, voiced by like...
Bill Murray.
Voiced by a celebrity cast.
Just Bill Murray versus all of them, even the girls.
Who's hip and cool? Tom Holland. Tom Holland voicing Burgish... Shrek's son.
No, they're
Shrek
all voiced.
$5 billion.
They're all voiced by different members of the Jonas Brothers.
They're all that could work.
And then isn't there a girl one? We'll have Selena Gomez be the girl one.
One of the brothers can't be in it.
No. He'll just do a girl voice.
So who's Selena Gomez gonna play?
She'll be a new character. She'll be Shrekalina. It's a new one. It's a new character.
And
It's a new girl Shrek.
No. That'll be
There's a new like.
That'll be the new princess, and then we'll just do Shrek 1 again, but with
There's
Shrek's
a new
son.
super hot Shrek, and it makes Fiona jealous because Shrek is spending a lot of time with the new hot Shrek, and she's gotta get him to stop hanging out with the sexy new Shrek.
This is the dumbest. And then they get divorced, and that's the plot.
They get divorced.
Shrek 5.
And the
slow
Shrek,
and
the Shrek.
painful divorce.
You have to watch the Shrek babies figure out
Choose
custody.
which parents they want more. Fiona or Shrek and new hot Shrek.
Shrekalina. She doesn't even have her own name.
She just shows up. She just walks in one day. It's a dumb movie.
She just walks into the house one day,
stupid.
just throws the door open.
No, but they're gonna. I'm not even joking. Shrek 5 is
No,
coming.
they've been saying they're making Shrek 5 forever. They just
I know
they
they
just
have,
won't
but
do
Puss
it.
in Boots actually doing well means they're gonna do it.
It'll
now.
come out whenever that.
Because they have
Akira
to do
movie
it
comes
now
out.
while there's like some interest. If you wait 10 more years, no one's gonna care.
Well, they waited 10.
And also probably one of the
They
cast
waited
will be
10
dead.
years on Puss in Boots, and everyone came back for that.
But that was only because it was really good.
So just make Shrek really good.
Damn, come on. This is DreamWorks we're talking about. They made Boss Baby Family Business.
Yeah, but they made all the How to Train Your Dragon movies are really good.
That's true.
Third one's not as good, but the other two are
Still
really
good though.
Kung Fu Panda
villains are
3,
bad
I
in all
don't. They announced Kung Fu Panda 4 as well
Yeah,
on I
they're
think their
doing
investor
that.
call.
We talked about that when they announced it too.
Kung Fu Panda. I really hope they go back to the style of Kung Fu Panda 2. He was just really bad.
I know you don't like 3.
Okay, it's not even that bad. It's only bad if you watch 2 and then 3. Because me and my friends one like year over
you
the summer.
talked about it.
Yeah, we watched each one like one night after the other. And watching Kung Fu Panda 2 and then going immediately to 3 is actually jarring. Like all the characters completely lose their personality. It was just really lame. Anyway,
What if Kung Fu Panda 4? Dragon Knight the movie.
yep, sure. All right,
Remember
next.
that show? Remember that?
It's still going, I
It's
think.
still going. The second
All
season came
right,
out.
Marvel updates. Tucker, tell us what Kevin Feige's been
Okay,
saying.
everybody. So Kevin Feige has been making the rounds because Ant-Man's coming out, and we're kicking off Phase 78 or wherever we're on at this point.
Phase 5, I think.
Phase 5, I think, 5 or 6.
Is it this? Which one is it?
No, I'll just talk.
Well, I want to pull something
It's
up.
just an article. Put a
I
picture.
have a
of
big
Kevin-
picture of Kevin Feige's
Put a big
face.
face on there. His big fat
Hey,
face.
Hey, don't be mean.
That loser.
Don't be mean to Kevin.
And that
Kevin's
multi-millionaire.
cool. Kevin's off.
That's not Alberto E. Rodriguez.
It's from T3gastatic.com. There we go.
If you want to know why he always wears a hat, you can look at his...
There we are.
That's kind of scary.
Nah, we love him. He's our man right
Look at
there.
his little mouth.
Don't do
Look at a
don't do
goblin
him,
man.
Don't do him dirty.
He's
like
a
why,
goblin
why are you
man.
so mean to Kevin Feige? You know,
I
we
can
might
be.
get a job at Marvel one day. You
He's
don't
more
know.
successful than I'll ever be.
That's probably true, but you don't got to be mean to him. He made some
I'm
good
not.
stuff.
I'm punching up. I'm punching up, and they're not even like hitting. I'm punching up, but he can't even like hear me punching.
Well, normally you don't hear someone punching.
I'm like jumping up and down, like huh, huh, and he just
Okay,
hears
what did he
nothing.
say? Tell us the thing.
Anyway, he was talking about Ant-Man. He's talking about various things. He said that that they've seen the response to the shows, that there's too many shows in a row. There's too many projects. It's diluting the brand. So they're gonna try to space them out.
Good idea.
Rumors are that there's just gonna be 2 this year. They're just gonna do Secret Invasion, and then they're gonna do Loki, and then they're just kind of like
I'm fine with that.
take the rest of the year off. We were supposed to get What If Season 2 this
I
year.
don't care about that at all.
We're supposed to get X-Men 97 this year.
I don't care about that at all
We
either.
were supposed to get the Echo show,
Forgot about her completely.
the Agatha show.
I don't even want that. I would actually prefer if they don't release that.
One other one that I can't remember at the moment because they make too many. We were supposed to get all these, but they said they're going to try to space them out, which is smart. Like it would, like that. You got to make people miss it.
Yeah, otherwise they don't want to come back.
You got to make people want to be there, or else they just feel like they've been dragged to an event.
Yeah, it feels like your parents taking you to.
You want to make them go out to eat instead of being like, "Oh, I got to eat fast food again." Right?
Yeah, exactly. If you eat McDonald's too many weeks in a row, it kind of loses its spark,
and you die of a heart attack.
and you have a heart attack.
So, and then he also talked about some plot stuff. He said that President General Ross is going to be the president in Captain America 4.
Oh, okay.
So Red Hulk is going to be the president, Sam. What do you think about that?
I think they're not doing Red Hulk.
I think they are.
I think the actor is not alive. And so I don't think
Harrison Ford's alive?
Oh, that's right.
Remember,
He
it's
got recast.
going to be Harrison Ford now.
I don't think Harrison Ford is...
He's not going to do the mocap.
Do that action. I don't think he would want to do all that.
He won't do it.
I think he's okay with this role because it's kind of like a background thing.
No, I think he'll just, he'll turn into Red Hulk, and then they'll just have a guy in a mocap suit run around.
But they can just do Red She-Hulk, and then that'll sell more action figures anyways.
But then people will complain about it being...
So,
then you
just make fun of them.
No, I feel like they'll do Red Hulk. They gotta do Red Hulk. Why are you bringing this character back whose actor died if you're not gonna do, the only thing that makes him notable?
Well, he was in the comics for a long time before he was Red Hulk.
Why do we care if he's the president if he's not going to be the Red Hulk and also the president?
I don't know. It'd be kind of weird for the president to be like a superhero character, I think.
But it would be cool.
Like, he's already the president.
So, he's just a guy right now.
Yeah, but he's a guy who's the president. Like, if...
In the Marvel universe, the president doesn't do crap. He's got no power.
If we lived in the Marvel universe world and there were, people with superpowers, and you learned tomorrow that Joe Biden could turn into a Red Hulk, you'd be like, that's just dumb.
No, I'd be like, can we kill that, please? Can we shoot the guy who turns into a big evil monster man and kills people?
Well, he doesn't. Stop that? We don't know if he kills people yet.
He does when he's evil, because the Red Hulk is not good,
all the Hulk characters in the current MCU don't kill anybody.
Are they all good now?
Hulk is chill.
Who do they
She-Hulk is not even, doesn't even get angry at all.
Sam.
And what's Abomination? Abomination is also, chill now.
Then he also talked about...
Oh, wait, but there is that other guy who might be a Hulk.
Who's the other guy?
Maybe it's unclear because they kind of, retconned their own
Anyway,
family.
But then he also talked about mutants.
The Reddit guy.
He said that they have a plan for what they're going to do, and they know when they're going to do it. But he's not going to talk about it now, and then he did a big laugh. And then he said, when asked about it, he said, I think we've said that word once. Kamala talks about a genetic mutation, and Namor refers to himself as a mutant among his people. A mutant is a real generic term, not just a comic book term. You played the X-Men theme song when they said it, Kevin Feige.
She goes...
Did you forget put that in?
I've got a mutation. And and also remember when
when you're making that X-Men cartoon show?
Remember when in that movie where...
He goes as a mutant?
Where Doctor Strange goes to the guy and he comes up in his big chair and he goes... and he does that and then waves come out of his head.
Kevin... What's
that guy's name again? What's the X-Men's name again? Why are they called the X-Men? Oh, yeah. Is it maybe because of that guy?
Apparently, he wants to change the name.
He wants to change whose name?
He wants them to just be the mutant.
No way they're actually going back to Merry Mutants.
That would be really fun.
No way they're actually doubling down on Merry Mutants. For those of you who don't know,
I would clap.
And what was it, the 40s when the X-Men originally came out? They were the original name that they pitched was the Merry Mutants, and it was shot down because they said no one would know what a mutant is, and so they changed them to the X-Men, which in my opinion is a much cooler name because, as everyone knows, X is the coolest letter of the alphabet, and men is it's a generic catch-all word for group of people. So X-Men works fine.
And then he talked about. Bucky Barnes is going to be the leader of the Thunderbolts in that movie. So everyone thought it was going to be Florence Pugh. It's not. It's going to be Bucky Barnes.
Makes more sense, but sure, whatever.
Yes, neither one of them are good leaders.
Yeah, but Bucky has the most experience.
Bucky just does whatever the guy closest to him tells him to do.
No, but now he's had time to sort out his stuff.
I just looked over this.
Kevin's watching. Watch what you say. Kevin knows.
My Disney social credit score is going to drop.
Disney social credit score.
But then he also said that the Blade movie is going to start filming in the next 10 weeks or so. Hopefully they'll have a script by the time that starts.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what you need to make a movie.
Because they had to
you need one of those.
They had to put it in the paper shredder and start from scratch like 4 months ago.
That's a sign of a good project is when you have to shred the movie.
You know what I don't understand? They plan this stuff like 15 years in advance now, right? They got all this mapped out. Why do they start writing a script like a week before they start shooting?
This is already starting to bite them in the butt, and we saw this a lot with Ant-Man, where they're going...
It's been biting them in the butt for years.
Where they retcon themselves so often now.
They did it with Spider-Man No Way Home also. That just happened to work out in a good way. But, like, 6 years ago, they knew they were going to do Kang, right? They knew that was the next guy. That was what they were going to do. But they were like, nah, we'll start on the script, like... The movie will come out in 2023. We'll do it in, like, November of 2022. Like, why would you hurt just start now?
Yeah, just do it. What's
like,
stopping
I get there's probably going to be leaks, but who cares? Hire a guy, have him write a full thing. If you don't like it, now you got time to get another guy to do a rewrite. Why are you, like, rewriting half the script while Paul Rudd's running around on the blue screen not knowing what's happening? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want the plot leaks.
Like, yeah. Max is saying, by the way, that leaks sometimes make people more hyped. That's only partially true, because sometimes too much.
But okay, and then when he was talking about Spider-Man later, he was like, we're going to do Spider-Man 4. We have ideas, we're just putting them on paper. I'm like, great. What that means... is they have a little note card on their big, giant bulletin board.
That says Spider-Man on it.
That's a Spider-Man 4. And then
question mark?
Question mark. And then they next to it are just like a bunch of like Post-its.
And then another sticky note underneath it that says the Hulk? Question?
And they got a bunch of Post-its that say like Black Cat, Green Goblin, right? Norman Oz. It just says like names of Spider-Man stuff. And then they have...
Yeah, they're going to bring back the Hemogoblin.
They're going to bring in the Corn of Coblin.
The what?
Never.
The Corn of Coblin?
No, but they have a list of Spider-Man related stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they're just going to have a writer come in. He's going to write like a story that includes all those things.
He's going to take 3 darts. He's going to throw them at the board. And he's going to be like, all right, Black Cat, Abomination, and Cheese Man. He's going to make a script where Spider-Man fights Cheese Man.
He's going to write a 3-page outline. And then and this movie is supposed to come out in like 2026, right?
Yeah.
That 3-page outline will sit in like a manila file folder in a drawer for like 2 years. And then a month before they start shooting, they'll pull it out. They'll drive over to the Rick and Morty writer's room. They'll go, hey, you're not busy. They'll hand him the 3-page outline and go, turn this into a script next week. That guy will go, Modak! Modak!
Holes!
And then they'll hand that to Kevin on set. They've already started rolling cameras.
Yeah, they already have 2/3 of the movie
They've already shot all the parts where Spider-Man shoots lasers at the other guy. And then... He shoots lasers now, by the way.
Yeah, they all shoot lasers.
They all shoot lasers now.
Max, I cannot hear you still.
And then Kevin goes, this sucks. We gotta start from scratch. But they've already shot half the movie. So now they're like, oh, they're like, Tom, what do you think should happen? He's like, I think I should do a flip here. And they're like, good,
do a flip.
Spider-Man does a flip. And like, that's how their process works. This is a multi-billion-dollar film franchise.
Just like write the script first.
It's not hard.
Do that.
It doesn't even have to be good. You just have to do it.
Well, it does have to be good, actually. Make it good.
Not if you give yourself time. Like if you start 2 years before pre-production, when you already know what the movie's gonna be about. If the guy takes 6 months to write it and it sucks, you got like a year and a half to make it good. If you give yourself 35 minutes over lunch break to write the script, it's never going to be good.
They know what they're building towards, but they have no idea how... They don't know.
No, they have a list of major plot points on one side. and we'll get to this more when we get to Ant-Man, the movie. But like, they have a list of major plot points to get to Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And then they have a list of like movies that they need to make more of. They have like, we got to make a Doctor
We have to make
Strange
another
3.
this. We have to make another that.
We have to make a Deadpool 3. We have to make a
So
Fantastic
how can we fit
Four.
this stuff into those?
And so then they just like connect each plot point to a movie and are like, okay, now we'll figure out what we do and how that works. Like that Kang is introduced card just connected to the Ant-Man 3 card, and they were like, okay, now we got to figure out how Kang and Ant-Man are related. Like, they still can't hear you, Max.
Like the Max is saying they have like a Charlie Day guy where he's like sticking pins.
And it's like really, really funny. And now you can hear me now, but they won't give me a mic.
Just go get a
we
mic.
told you to get a
I'm
mic.
being censored.
He refused
No,
to
you
get
just
a mic.
didn't
and
wanna
then
go
he
get
laid
a
him on the
mic.
couch after eating McNuggets.
We can plug it into Tucker's laptop. You just didn't get a mic.
Anyway, the point is I am so hyped for Phase 5. Sam, are you hyped for Phase 5?
I can't wait.
I can't wait
Phase
for
5.
Secret Wars. Or is that Phase 6?
That's Phase 6.
What is Phase 7? I want to know what's happening in Phase 7,
I
Kevin.
don't know.
Send
Phase
me an
7.
email. Tell me what's up.
That's where Han Solo comes in.
Why not? Let's do a Star Wars crossover.
Not Thunderbolt Ross, played by Harrison Ford.
How are you
Han
gonna,
Solo comes in.
What are they going to do next? Like, how do you... Secret Wars is going to be like the biggest scale...
Right,
like,
the next
over-the-top thing ever. Like, what do you do after that?
the multiverse breaks and then Rey Star Wars kills Thanos.
Like, no, because the truth is you because Secret Wars is gonna have everyone from every Marvel movie ever made, right?
Yeah.
The only way you top that is if you bring in characters from other non-Marvel movies. Like, you gotta go. Hey, look, everybody!
It's Rey Star Wars.
It's Indiana Jones from
Indiana Jones.
Like, he's here, guys. It's him, not Harrison Ford, the actor. It's Indiana Jones.
And Harrison Ford, the actor. They're both here.
He doesn't want to play Han Solo, though.
No. Like, Harrison Ford is a
He's
crucial
in the Han
part
Solo
of the story.
outfit, but he doesn't want to play Han Solo.
No, there's a character called Harrison Ford who is just Harrison Ford.
The actor.
Yes, he's just like character, like how you know how Batman is like a main character in the Lego movie?
Yeah.
And it's just like Batman is just there for some reason, even though everyone else is like an original character.
His dog is going to knock over.
Yeah, she'll be fine. Hello, Cena, what you doing?
Podcast dog. She's back.
Not so bad.
She
Okay.
like,
Alrighty, what's next?
all right, Sam. Speaking of
Got some trailers.
endless things crossing over, the Super Bowl aired while we were off. It was a good game, but you don't care about that. You care about ads. You love
Alrighty.
big trailers for movies that you will ignore.
So
So,
first things first, we're
the
going
biggest one was we got the first
going with
trailer
the Flash
for the
first.
Floosh,
the Fast, the flashest man
the man
alive.
himself.
Oh, it seems to not want to connect.
Do-
He's eating something. What do you got there? Wrapper? Okay, bye. She's gonna run away now. She doesn't want us to take her wrapper. What is that a wrapper for? That's not a wrapper. What is that? Oh, that is a hamburger wrapper. Okay. Why'd you put your hamburger wrapper over there? Well, you're the only one who orders the hamburger, so it's definitely yours. All right, he's gotta lure her away with a treat now. Go on, Cena. Go on. Don't eat the trash while you do. Let me get this. Okay, there we go. Oh, gotta mute it. Gotta mute the trailer. Where's the... Oh, there we go.
Warner Brothers will get mad at us if we don't mute it.
Sometimes they get mad at us just for kind of showing it.
Oh,
All
they
right.
have multiple times. Okay, anyway, pause.
So there, right there, we see Alan Berry, the Flash man, the fastest Flash.
He's got a
guy.
new suit.
Got goggles now.
Okay. One, I don't like that it's plasticky.
It looks like he's wearing.
I hate plasticky
You know those
suits.
construction gloves? Like those rubberized
rubber
construction gloves? It looks like he's wearing a suit made of that.
I don't like. They've been doing it with they've been doing the comics too, where they've tried to change the Flash costume by just putting a million lines in it.
Yeah, stop that.
I don't like. It's fine. I get that you want to change it, but it's fine the way it is, and you'll never get a better version of just the red, the yellow gloves, the yellow boots, the yellow lightning bolts come out the side.
And also,
that's what everybody wants.
Really, I mean, obviously he's friends with Batman in this one, so it makes a little bit more sense.
He's
But,
teched up his suit.
how did he make this?
But also in this universe, Batman doesn't have a techie suit.
Yeah, so why would he make the
In the
Flash
DCU
suit?
stuff before, he's been using like the same like rubber cloth bat suit for like 30 years.
Well, no, in the DCEU he had like
he had like the one.
It was
robot,
like armorized.
He had the armor one for Justice League.
Well, no, I don't even mean his like BVS suit. I mean like the one he had was armored. It just looked
in
fabricy.
Justice League. He had like an armor one. That wasn't like the full on like Batman.
Yeah,
armor,
yeah.
But like he had like a more armor plated one.
Yeah, with the goggles.
But most
and
of
all
the time, he's just wearing like that cloth bat suit, like that just straight up like there's probably some padding,
like canvas or whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, that's not the point. So we're
All right. Anyway,
so this is Barry's back in time.
Oh, actually, you can move the camera more towards me so it shows more of the TV since Max is gone now. Since we're gonna be showing the trailers now, anyways. Yeah, that's good. Now we got the whole TV in the frame. There we go. They're gonna see the back of your head too, but that's fine.
That's the best part of it.
All right. We got Barry Allen's house.
Okay, pause.
We got a bat mask on the floor.
This whole trailer is Michael Keaton Batman. Oh, I forgot to lock the door.
Oh, she's back. Whoa. Did you throw the trash away? That wouldn't be a problem if you threw it away. Come here, Tina. Come here. Tina. Oh, she walked out again. She's just going to be like, oh, if I open this door, I get a treat. I got to... All right.
So, Michael Keaton Batman, he's narrating.
He got his mask on the floor.
Like, Barry, you can do time travel. Why are you here in this time?
In this world, you either win or you lose.
And we see like a broken bat suit. Okay, pause. Oh, you have to go back.
That's like one frame.
I know.
Tucker.
I want to examine the frame.
What is there to examine there?
So there's Barry. There's Barry's house.
Bat suit on the floor.
Broken, bloody bat suit. Pause. Okay.
There, you get this blurry image of the back of Batman's face.
Ben Affleck Batman, right?
Maybe Ben Affleck Batman.
Well, you can tell because he's got like that smaller. Got the smaller.
We can't even really tell because he's leaned forward.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton Batman has that big plastic suit and it's got like those giant.
Yeah, but if you're leaned forward, you can't see that.
This is 100%.
Because if you take this and you move it this way,
there's a shot later in the trailer where you can see this is the same Batman. But like,
okay, whatever.
So we got Ben Affleck Batman. He's riding the bat cycle in probably Gotham
in like the broad daylight,
and it's blue. It's blue.
Well, I think that might just be because
he's wearing a blue. I think it could be the sunlight, but I think it's a blue. I think they're giving them the blue and gray suit.
No, I think that's just like a
because I feel like they also want to differentiate like him and the Michael Keaton Batman by color.
No, because his arm is like the regular gray. I think it's just the way
that does look kind of gray.
I think it's just
the way
that
cape looks pretty blue.
I think it's just the way the lighting is.
I think.
I think that's. I think it's just like a black, and it just looks kind of blue because cameras don't really film black very well.
He's getting rebooted after this. Can we do one movie where he's wearing the yellow and blue suit?
Oh.
Come on, that's what everybody wants.
All right, then we got Barry Allen. He's gripping he's got lightning bolts all over him. He's got, okay, I don't know what that is. Someone's flying there.
This is the micro trailer before the trailer. Anyway, stop.
I hate that. Stop on his, why?
So he asks him, like, why did you come to this timeline? And he goes, because this is the one where my mom is alive. And then we see we see him time traveling. And then we see.
Okay, they're big Ezra Miller face.
It's so funny to me that he's the actor who's gotten all this trouble, and they were like, you know what? Who should play two characters in this movie?
You know who should be the flagship of our entire rebooted universe? That guy.
Well, because we see later that he's gonna play two versions.
Yeah,
of himself.
there's two Barry Allens in this movie. All right. Anyway, moving up, moving on, keeping on chugging.
So we see his mom.
See him and his mom. They're getting along super well.
And then his dad, who's been recasted. Presumably, this is the flashback to when she was murdered.
Well, okay, that might be maybe in the other universe. Maybe she didn't get murdered. Maybe they like stayed.
Well, because in the main universe, she's dead, right?
Yeah.
And his dad is framed for the crime, is in jail.
But maybe in the other universe, his dad's different.
So they're okay. Just overall, they're obviously doing a modified version of Flashpoint.
Sorta, yeah.
So in Flashpoint, if you're completely unaware, you want them to know more about it, the comic is great. This is a Jeff Johns, Andy Kubert comic.
Super summary time.
It was the reboot of the New 52. That's how they did it. But it's a story where it's also a really good DC animated movie.
Yeah.
That's one of the better ones is the Flashpoint one. But,
basically, Barry saves his mom. It jacks up the whole universe.
Barry goes back in time. He stops his mom from being killed. But in the process, it creates an alternate timeline where everything's all screwed up. So basically what happens when you go back in time and change an event in the DC universe is...
It screws everything up.
So if you go fast enough, you cause a sonic boom. if you go through time, you cause a time boom, and the time boom does ripple effects and changes multiple events that couldn't even...
It, like, breaks the universe.
That go throughout multiple decades that can change events that aren't even related to the one you changed. So in the alternate timeline, instead of Bruce Wayne's parents dying in that alleyway, he died in the alleyway, and his dad becomes Batman.
And he's like,
and his mom becomes the Joker, everyone. And his dad is like just a mean Batman with guns who shoots everybody.
And his mom goes crazy because she lost her son, she becomes the Joker.
Superman, instead of crash landing in Smallville, Kansas, crash lands in the middle of Metropolis, gets taken by the U.S. government and put in captivity for his whole life. The Amazonians and the Atlanteans are
they're at war.
At a world-ending war, and like
it's like destroying cities and stuff.
The only real superhero is Cyborg, who's working for the government,
and he's like Superman.
And basically the plot of is the world's about to end because Barry did a big no-no.
Barry really screwed up.
So they're doing something.
That's also where the "it was me, Barry." That's where that audio came from. Also,
yep, because Reverse Flash is in it, and I think he's kind of in this movie. I have a theory. And get to it.
You think the other Barry's Reverse Flash?
Not when it starts.
Yeah, but he becomes the Reverse Flash.
He will become. But I think
that's kind of a cool idea.
I think I know why. But
he's Savitar.
But we can kinda. But we can resume the trailer here.
Not comic book Savitar. Comic book Savitar was just a fast caveman.
He's
talking
very
about
cool.
TV show Savitar, the one that was an evil version of Barry.
We stand comic book Savitar.
Yes, we stand fast caveman.
What does stand mean?
Stand means like I stand by, like I support them. I'm a stand.
We stand Ezra Miller in everything.
No, we do not. All right, next up, we got he's going so fast. He's the fastest Flash alive.
With a little time skip.
Time's going weird.
So
so when he's not running, his suit's not glowy. I just wanted to point that out. It's only when he like stops running and when he is running that it's glowy.
So that way they can see, because the CGI.
That'll be like how he channels the Speed Force, whatever. Yeah, because they're not real.
But
there he is touching a picture of his mama, or that might be Batman actually.
Okay, real quick. So his lightning is still blue.
So this is
sometimes it's yellow.
No, it's the two different Flashes.
His is yellow and his
other one's blue.
His suit has yellow lights, but he has blue lightning, and then the other one has yellow lightning.
No, one has blue lightning, one has yellow lightning.
But also when he's running back in time earlier, his lightning is
yellow because yellow's the one that we know.
I think when he goes like real
fast. Or no,
because
in Justice League his lightning's blue.
It's blue,
right?
yeah. And it's blue here.
I don't know. Well, but in this one, he's looking at the...
I think when he goes like really fast, it turns yellow. That's my theory.
He wouldn't become the Flash if his mom was alive, right? Because he wouldn't
have that's part of the plot of Flashpoint.
But why is there two Flashes, then, in this movie?
Because I think instead of going back in time and saving his mom in this one, he just goes to a timeline where she's not dead.
Yes, I know, but at the end, we see that there's two Flashes, so clearly he became the Flash in this universe still, for some reason.
Well, he would already... Yeah, well, we see a shot in the trailer later. But I feel if he goes to a separate timeline... I feel like he would just keep the powers because
no. I'm not talking about him.
Went over.
I'm talking. Okay,
I know.
In this universe, there is a Barry Allen. We see him.
It's explained later in the trailer.
Yeah, okay.
But if you just
we see that he's a speedster too, but
most of the first part of the trailer,
he wouldn't be in the lab with the chemicals.
Yeah, they show you later what happens, and in the.
Alrighty, so here we see.
There's his mom. Okay, and then here's him
meeting him
with other Barry, presumably from the timeline he travels to.
He's got
who's wearing all yellow. So that's our first hint about my Reverse Flash idea. He's also got a different haircut, right?
Yeah.
And he also doesn't have any Flash powers.
He's just a normal guy. Meet him, right? And you can see this Barry. I don't know if you guys can see this super well on the TV, but he has the ring on.
He has the Flash ring.
The Flash ring, yeah.
And you could tell who's different because they have different haircuts.
That way you could tell them apart the whole movie.
That's right.
I'm sure Ezra Miller really liked having to wait for his hair to grow out to film the other half of this movie.
No,
or the whatever other.
He just wore a wig, right?
Did he wear a wig though?
Same actors wear wigs in everything.
Yeah, but his hair looks like normal here. I don't know, whatever. Anyway,
it's always a wig. They are always wearing.
Anyway, next thing.
So there's Barry.
He's like, I don't know. You can see the roots of his hair right there. Okay, yeah, they're talking. He's like, oh my gosh, there's a Barry Allen in this universe where obviously they're.
Okay, and
I'm very surprised by this for some reason.
And then Barry and Barry 2 go to the Wayne Manor, which is
spooky for some reason now.
Okay, here's this. So pause. So in the Flashpoint comic, when Barry messes up the timeline, he creates a universe where he doesn't have any powers.
Yes.
So at the start of the comic, he doesn't, and then with Batman's help, he recreates the accident and gives himself flash powers again.
Oh, so you think he's... Oh, actually, yeah, I remember that. Because he's like on the roof and he keeps like
he does
zapping
it twice,
himself.
and the first time he like almost
almost
himself.
dies, and he does it again, and he gets flash powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so here we have both the berries being struck by lightning. Now I don't know why.
Well, is it both berries? Because that looks like just some other guy.
You can look. That's Barry, and then that's the longer haired Barry.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't. If he already has flash powers when he gets there, I don't know why he would be doing this. But if he doesn't,
maybe the lightning has to go through him or something like that.
I think what happens. I think what's probably. Ooh, you know what? Okay, I think for unexplained reasons, when he goes to the new timeline, his powers will just be gone for some reason.
No, because he runs. We see him like going to like look at his pictures and stuff, and he has flash powers. I think,
but that could be from after.
I think in order to fix the multiverse or whatever, they need 2 flashes for whatever BS reason they make up, and in order to give other Barry powers, they have to like channel it through him.
My theory about this scene is that he's striking himself, and the other Barry runs into the room to be like, "No!" and then he just gets
no, because he seems like he's just chilling, like he's just standing here.
True. Whoa!
Like he doesn't start being whoa till he gets hit. So
that's how the other Barry's going to get flash powers. And then,
I think they just need 2 flashes for whatever the plot is.
And then he's got the suit and the ring. And then here's from the start of the movie. He's talking to Ben Affleck.
Like
pause. He's talking to Ben Affleck. He's like, Batman, I could go back in time. I could go to a different universe. And
I can fix it, Batman.
And then Ben Affleck's like, don't do that, though.
I don't know why not, but just don't.
Because it's going to mess everything up.
Well, but he doesn't
He's
know
always
that.
right. Batman's always right.
Batman is always right.
And then we get the reveal that that in this universe, because Barry has gone to a timeline where there's no metahumans, or at least no like public superhero metahumans. So General Zod.
So there was no one to fight General Zod,
and there's no one there to stop him. So he's got his big dubstep gravity machine, and he's ready to shoot the big blue laser.
And there's no Superman to stop him.
Barry's got to put a crew together.
There's
Zod.
He's killing dudes. Looks
like the third act of this movie, instead of taking place. Okay, pause. Instead of taking place in a city, is going to take place in a big open field.
Well, it's a big desert. Yeah, we see later on the big fight with the 2 flashes there in like a big desert.
Is to save money, and also so nobody whines about the fact that they blow up all those buildings.
Yeah, because they did that a lot.
Now they can blow everything up, and there's no problem.
Don't got to worry about it.
But we see a shot of Barry in like a red light shined facility. I think they're going to the government facility where, in this universe, Supergirl is kept. So in Flashpoint, it's Superman. The government takes him when he's a baby. They shove him in a red sun chamber where he is just like
he's a normal guy,
a scrawny little man, just held in captive by the government for 40 years. In this, it's Supergirl. They've got her in a red light room, keeping her from using her powers. We resume.
Same sort of thing.
We see her suit. So in this universe, there's no Superman. There's Supergirl.
And we see she's also super scrawny.
She's super scrawny for being in the government facility.
The government thing.
They will use a big laser. And then,
we see him in the Wayne Mansion.
Barry. They're visiting the Batcave. And oh my gosh, Sam, nostalgia a million. It's Michael Keaton.
There he is. It's the Bat guy.
It's Michael Keaton, 68-year-old Michael Keaton.
68 Batman.
Back in the suit.
Well, how old is Ben Affleck? It's not much younger. I mean, he is younger, but he's
in his, I want to say...
He's like, what, like 5 or 6 years younger?
Early to mid-50s, Ben Affleck? He's just 50.
He's like 10 years.
50.
Okay, so he's a good big
He's not
actor.
too old. Michael Keaton, though...
He's very old.
Is 71.
Yeah, that's a lot older.
That's pretty old to be in that big rubber suit.
But he was 68 when it was filmed.
Probably.
This was filmed 2 years ago.
But he says, "I'm Batman," and then cut to the next one, and then they show him doing an action scene, and he says the line for the trailer, and then he jumps off a thing, and then he's just a cartoon.
Yeah, he's just animated.
He's just animated cartoon Batman,
which is fine. I mean, I didn't expect him.
I like how he's become more agile in that suit.
I like how
when he's 68 years old than when he was in like the.
I like how one Barry
passes
out, and the other one's like, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who that guy. You've never met that guy.
The question is, did he travel to the Batman 89 universe? And that's where this all just happens to take place. Or did he travel to a different universe that just also happens to have Michael Keaton as Batman?
I mean, either one works, really.
Because do they want to limit to themselves like that? This is the Keaton universe.
I mean, why not? What you don't gain or lose anything by doing that.
Well, but the Keaton universe is extraordinarily stylized and also has a bunch of like pre-existing lore that you have to like abide by.
Like what?
Like everything that happened in Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah, but none of that stuff really affects this.
That's true. It's also, and I do think it's strange. It's going to be strange where it's like Batman was here the whole time, and there was a Supergirl in captivity, and there was like presumably other aliens running around, and he was just like,
well, he's only fighting in Gotham.
sitting in a cave,
he doesn't know
also,
about that.
if he's like in the suit and still Batmaning around, why did he let that cave get so dusty and shut all the power off?
Maybe he wasn't in there. Maybe they like wandered in and he wasn't there.
Where was he at? Where else is Batman ever?
I don't know, a business meeting.
Why is this mansion so decrepit?
He runs like Apple.
I guess Alfred's dead at this point.
He runs like their version of Microsoft. Like he's got stuff to do.
He's busy.
He's a busy
Give him
man.
A break. Okay, so and then we go back to this
I mean, he's going back
action
to,
scene,
got him
which is, you can tell that's the Affleck Batman on the motorcycle.
driving around. Okay, we saw Supergirl there for a
Supergirl's
second.
carrying a thing. Flash is running up a building.
He's got
at
yellow
super
light in
speed.
there.
Oh my gosh, that pause. That scene where he just like stands up is CGI.
Yeah.
I feel like the problem is he's literally just gonna be animated Batman.
Well, yeah, but
Like
we knew that already.
Anytime he's not standing completely still, he'll be a cartoon.
I mean, so is Barry. Like, so is the Flash. Anytime he's doing Flash stuff, he's CGI.
So we get a shot
there's
of the third
this
act.
thing where they touch
really
boots.
quick. Go back one. Oh, you gotta go.
It's goofy.
You're gonna have to like go back a little bit. Yeah.
There's
Supergirl's carrying
Supergirl
someone.
carrying
I don't
what
know
looks
who
like
that
maybe
is.
Barry.
I think it could be Barry.
I don't know who else is skinny like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? She might be taking him up to get struck by lightning.
That's true.
Yeah, because there's also thunder. All right, so here we see Barry.
So and that's
running through
that's
some
like
stuff.
our normal Barry who's got yellow lightning.
And I think this is during the Zod attack.
Yeah, this is the third act.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. If this
Oh no, this is when he blows up the city. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna blow up Metropolis completely, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shoot, that was bad." And then like the actual third act will be.
Well, no, because if he finishes
desert.
activating the machine, everyone on Earth dies because gravity crushes everyone.
I know, but they'll like stop.
Or are they
him.
going to retcon?
They'll kind
that?
of stop him where he just blows up Metropolis, and then they'll be like, "Oh
No,
shoot."
but the machine doesn't blow up places.
Real quick, my theory is that he will win.
If he wins, everyone on Earth dies,
Exactly.
including Barry.
But no, this Barry is gonna get away.
No, it doesn't matter if he gets away. The gravity on Earth increases to such a degree that everyone dies.
I think he's gonna like
Be immune to
I
gravity?
think this and I don't know if the whole planet will be blown up, but I feel like it'll be real bad because my theory is that the reason other Barry turns into Reverse Flash
He screws up so bad?
is because Barry showed up, basically ruined his whole universe, blew it all up, and then like just ditched for a new timeline. And like he'll hate Barry because Barry showed up, gave him these powers, and then had the world explode and then left.
That would be kind of a boring movie, though.
What do you mean, like, because they lose?
Yeah, that'd be a cool setup, but like, no, it'd be boring because like he does nothing and leaves. Like that would be a lame
No, he'll
movie.
put the whole team together. They'll do a big fight, and then nothing, and then he won't win.
I don't know about that. I don't know if they're gonna do that.
But
I think maybe this universe will stop existing, and then maybe he'll be like a remnant, and then he'll want to kill Barry.
The original plan was that at the end of this, Barry was going to do a whole reset of the universe.
Yeah,
And it was going to be Michael Keaton is now main Batman, Supergirl is now main Superman.
so they just live in this universe.
Essentially, but also all the other characters from the original universe who are still there.
All the ones that James Gunn wants to keep.
No, because this was before James Gunn came on.
I know, but he said that this movie is like still.
Now they're going to use it to do a different universe reset. But
well, they're gonna bring in a different group, but like whoever is around at the end of this movie, he's already said like this movie's like canon.
Yeah, but back before he was hired, like 4 years ago, when they were shooting this movie, back when Walter Hamada was in charge, the plan was reset the timeline. Michael Keaton is now the main Batman. He's Nick Furying everything, right?
Stupid, dumb.
Supergirl is now the
idea.
main Superman because they weren't going to have Cavill. They were going to replace Cavill with Supergirl.
Waste of Cavill. I don't know why.
But then the new universe would still have like Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
That's
right?
fine. I like those guys.
They were all going to still be around, right? And then and then the Batgirl movie was going to have like Michael Keaton like mentoring Batgirl, and Batgirl
she's going to be the new Batgirl.
was going to be like the main in the field Batman, right? But then
man, if only
that was all.
Only there existed
Also,
a property where Batman is old and trains a successor that is also his surrogate son.
Well, no, his actual son.
Yes, well, but it's a surrogate son. He didn't like actually like.
It's his DNA.
Yeah, but that's what a surrogate is.
Yeah.
It's when you take their DNA and you put it in someone else and they make a baby.
Like his adopted.
No, it is literally his surrogate.
Unlike his other 5 adopted children.
Well, no, he has two. He has 2 actual children. One that he actually created. One that he just sort of was created
Both
without
of
his
them
knowledge.
Were created by taking his DNA and putting it in a tank.
No, the Damian Wayne, he banged her.
Yeah, I know,
she
but
got
then
pregnant.
she put the egg in
she did put him in a chamber because she wanted to keep fighting dudes without being pregnant.
Anyway, that's
not related to this.
It's a whole weird thing.
But you get my point.
But at one point, Gal Gadot,
just do Batman
Jason
Beyond.
Momoa, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck were all in this movie, and they've all been cut out except for Ben Affleck because I think he's too central to the plot to do that.
Yeah. Okay, continuing the trailer. We got Batman. He's still Batmaning. I don't know if that's.
They didn't change the suit.
He looks like he
all.
might just be normal there. That might just be actually. And we got Barry touching Barry, or that might be his mom actually.
Okay.
Got them running around.
There's a shot where the 2 Barrys
heels touch and they go
heel touch and then boom off. So we know that other Barry from the
gets
yellow
powers.
Long hair Barry is gonna get powers, and his suit is gonna be like a Keaton Batman suit that they modify. They spray paint it red and then put some yellow detailing on it.
Oh, so you mean his suit in Justice League?
What?
Where it's mostly gray and they kind of spray paint parts of it red?
No, they're gonna take his suit will be a Batman '89 outfit that is spray painted red. So
it's really dumb.
So,
I don't think that's what it is.
Because it's a makeshift suit. No, we've seen it. I'll show it to you. That's the main Flash. That's our Flash. He's got the actual suit.
Yeah, our Flash has got normal suit on.
I will show because
look, that just looks like a regular Flash outfit.
You can see that's the utility belt.
Well, but Flash has a yellow belt.
Show you the picture.
Oh, see, this Flash also has a yellow belt.
It's already been they've tweeted pictures of it, of his suit.
That's fine, but he still looks. It looks just like a normal.
Put it on his.
Who?
The director.
Hey, Andy.
It's from a while ago. Yeah, here. This is the it's literally a Keaton Batman suit that he spray paints red and then puts the yellow.
That's real dumb.
So you can see this is our Barry who's got the actual full suit and this.
Yeah,
is,
that one's
and the makeshift one has the blue and then our one has the yellow.
Using because his lightning has
normally
been
blue.
Yeah, maybe it is the suit that just turned yellow.
That's gonna be dumb. Or it's just okay, but if they needed different colors to differentiate, why is the new one getting the old color and the old one getting the new color? That's what I'm saying. That's confusing. They should have just made it so his lightning was yellow. But no, you know why it's yellow? It's because the TV show had yellow, and that's the one people know, and so they have to make it closer line.
But okay, if they just kept his blue, which it has been
before,
and they made his yellow since he's going to be Reverse Flash anyway, and his color scheme is yellow.
Well, now it's going to be blue.
If he does become Reverse Flash, then that would have made way more. That would have been way more.
Okay, why is he here if he's not going to be Reverse Flash? What are we doing? Why are we doing a Flash movie if we're not going to introduce a Flash villain in it?
Well, they did. There's always been stories where there's 2 Flash. The first ever multiverse story in DC was there were 2 Flashes, and neither one of them turned evil. There was just 2 Flashes.
One of them was Jay Garrick.
Yeah, there were 2 Flashes.
Also Barry Allen.
Who cares what their names are? The point is, there's 2 Flashes.
I think he's gonna be a villain. He's got to turn evil. He's got to turn evil.
There's precedent for them to not turn.
Why is he wearing so much yellow? If not to be Reverse Flash.
I don't know, I'm just saying, don't be disappointed if he doesn't become Reverse Flash.
I'm not gonna be disappointed because I don't care enough.
All right. What's next? Yelling at him. You gotta help me, Barry. Oh, okay. Here we see the lightning experiment again.
Supergirl punches him. He does a big
making
flip.
we got some missiles and Batman's doing a grind.
That was Ben Affleck, and you can see that it's a gray and
his suit's different. He's blowing up some spaceships.
They're all just doing a big fight in that.
This is
the
This is when they break in. This is when they break into Free Supergirl.
His suit looks so weird in the day.
It does. Supergirl's going nuts on these dudes.
This is when they're breaking out of the facility.
Do you remember when in Man of Steel when they get to Earth and they're all discombobulated because they're just getting their powers?
Yeah.
Why is she immediately commando mode? Is it because Cool Woman, or is it because they forgot?
It's Ex Machina.
I think they forgot their own rules. I think that's why.
That's fine, whatever. I mean, she's been on Earth for a while. She just
also, I'd love to point out the fact these guys are defending trying to keep Supergirl held captive with regular pistols.
Well, they had her,
don't even work on.
They had
Batman.
her in the chamber.
Yeah, and their plan for if she escaped was regular gun.
Well, they didn't know what would happen if they shot her with a regular gun.
But they knew to put her in a red light chamber?
Yeah.
How would they know one of those things and not the other?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's dumb.
What else were they going to do? What if they don't know kryptonite exists? How else were they going to stop him?
I don't know.
And we get and she says here that her name is Kara.
Yeah, it's Kara Danvers or whatever.
It's Kara's, but also there was a rumor that she's Zod's daughter in this.
She might. That doesn't really matter.
But also it doesn't matter because she's going to get recast. That movie anyway.
What movie?
You know, they're doing that Supergirl movie.
Not going to be in that.
No, probably not.
Why not?
Because they're recasting everybody.
But why?
And they took her out of the end of this movie.
Well, she's clearly in the not rest of...
She's in the weird timeline, but she's no longer in like the new main timeline.
So who's going to be Superman in the new main timeline? Superman?
It's a new guy.
Superman?
Yeah.
That should be Robert Downey.
The 58-year... Yeah, we're going to get an old guy.
Hey, why not?
An old, out-of-shape man.
Imagine how
to play 25-year-old
Imagine
Superman.
how crazy it would be if Superman was Robert Downey Jr.
It would make a lot of money.
That'd be real dumb.
But everyone would be like,
what? All right, anyway. Yeah, so...
That's bad compositing.
That looks like an effect we would do.
Cat movie.
That looks like an effect we would do.
Oh, that's bad.
The Flash, yeah, woo woo, and there's Supergirl with her suit. I don't know where she got that from.
Yeah, and then you can see him here. He's wearing.
He's being like a weird perv, and he's
like, I wanted my kids to see. Anyway, it looks fine. Oh, and then they're like, read the comic.
Okay, so the suit is the Flashpoint. That's why it's got lines.
Anyway. Looks fun.
All right, that's good.
Will
Next
it make money?
Trailer.
Probably. It's got Michael Keaton.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I have no idea. All right.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Well, let's save that. I want to do that one last. I want to do Indiana Jones first.
All right, the Indiana Jones one was short. It was just like 30 seconds or so. It's just more of him
more Indiana Jones.
Indiana around, if you know.
Oh no, it's a full minute and 40 seconds. Good.
Yeah. So trailer. 5 of these aired at the game, and then a couple more came out before.
I think stylistically, this movie looks really good.
I think this might be the
old one. I think so. It posted.
Where is it from?
2 months ago.
Yeah, that's the old.
I want the new one.
You idiot!
Here we go. No, this is a TV spot. No,
the TV spot is new.
No, that's
how long is it? Like, this is the Super Bowl spot.
Is?
Yeah, it was real short. We get more CGI.
No, but it was him. It was the Super Bowl spot was for the trailer online.
No, there wasn't a full one for.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. Here he is doing stuff.
There's just more him goofing in.
He's jumping. He's swinging.
I'm concerned that a large portion of the movie will be him
digitally de-aged in the past.
I think
at least half.
Not like half, but like a third.
No, I think half.
Like a good 15 to 20 minutes.
I think a good half of it will be in the past. I think half of it will be past Indiana Jones, and
they revealed the budget for it. If you want to know,
sure. What's the budget?
Absurdly high.
Yeah, no, don't play that yet.
Only play that. 290. That's $300 million. That's almost the budget. That's $50 million away from being the end game budget for Indiana, which makes me think
you're gonna be digitally de-aged.
CGI crap just everywhere.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be de-aged for half.
Like
of it
we're doing all the dumb rumors. Digitally de-aged him, time travel, giant fantasy sequences. All like that's
yeah.
absurd.
I mean, time travel kind of. I mean, sundial.
The whole appeal of Indiana Jones is that it was like real stunts. Like when they drag him.
Okay, you can't do that with a 90-year-old dude.
That's but if you can't do that, why are we doing this?
Because they want to give him a big final send off.
They did twice before.
No,
we did 2 of them.
That don't count. Those were bad.
The movie called The Last Crusade wasn't a final send off.
Doesn't count. Not good.
Stupid.
Not good enough. Doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to watch Indiana Jones just like stand around while other people do action sequences. That doesn't seem interesting to me.
Well, too bad. That's what you're getting.
And
Suck it up.
The main thing that concerns me is that Steven Spielberg was like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. Let this guy do it. I'm just gonna sit over here.
I don't think he would do that. I think he cares too much about it.
But he didn't. But he's not directing. He stepped down from directing it.
Well,
And was like, I'm gonna make West Side Story instead.
West Side Story was good.
True. But also, like, this is Indiana Jones, dude. This is like the big boy.
All right. Well,
and you chose not to.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes out. I don't
have super high hopes for it.
I'm not super invested in Jones. Alrighty, let's see some of this.
And then the Guardians got another full trailer. Not a whole lot new. Just some more. This one was way more light in tone than the other trailer.
Yeah, the first trailer was like, uh-oh.
It's kind of a recap of
Big sad
last
mode.
time.
This one spends a lot of time sort of covering.
You know, it's been 6 years since the last one, or it'll have been 6 years since in May when this comes out.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Timeline-wise, it's been
like a decade.
Yeah.
The second one takes place in 2014.
Yeah, the second one takes place, I think,
this is like a full decade on. It's the third movie.
Yeah.
But we get more of the High Evolutionary, who it's revealed is wearing like a skin mask.
Face. Yeah, that's kind
of... there's his big cube ship. Except for there, he's not wearing a skin mask.
Well, I think eventually he gets to the point where he takes it off.
I have a theory here.
Your theory.
Damn, what's on that screen right now?
Oh, that's rocket on it. It kind of spoiled this.
Yeah.
I mean, we already knew he was... Spoilers.
I don't think he's going to die.
Going to be evil?
No. I think they're going to take all the cybernetics out of him and he's going to be a normal wreck.
No, I think he's going to die.
My theory, but think about it.
I think if you take the cybernetics out, he dies.
No, I don't think I think there's going to be like a normal. Well, I'll show you why later. But if we keep going, something's going to happen to him because that was a really big mess up.
That really shouldn't have been.
They screwed up real bad on that one.
Yeah, that was kind of a goof.
But then someone's got a blade head. I think that's Adam Warlock.
No, that's was
that Nebula?
Yeah.
She's got a sword arm now?
Well, she's been 10 years. She's probably got some upgrades.
Feel really bad for anyone who didn't want to know that, but that was their fault.
Yeah, see, that's definitely Nebula.
I guess so. I guess she's got a sword arm now. Yeah, we get
Among Us time.
A lot of it's stuff from the other trailer we've seen.
A lot of Among Us going on here.
Yes, Sam. That was obviously what he was alluding to.
Well, I don't know what else looks at. That he does look cool. He looks like a cool villain with a face mask. God, he's got a new arrow. It's like white.
Rated. More Adam Warlock flying. Okay, pause. Dang it, you missed it. Go back.
That was like a 1 second shot.
I know, but that's the key. That's the key, Sam. This is where it all connects.
Going looking, this lights are turning on.
Pause. Okay, I think the third act is going to take place on this like suburban area, right?
I think this is the very
I think that's on his ship. I think that's on the High Evolutionary's ship is like that big.
No, this is this is the cold open for them.
And you think Adam Warlock's going to show up and like be blowing things up? Mm-hmm. I think it's going to open on...
I think they're going to get it...
I think it's going to open on nowhere, though, right?
No. I think they're going to get...
That's where they were last time.
So, they're going to get a distress signal or something. For some reason, they're going to go to this, like, animal planet. They're going to land. They're going to be looking like, oh, where's the issue? What's the problem? What's going on? And then there's that funny interaction where he throws the ball.
Yeah.
Then, like, out of nowhere, Adam Warlock comes, like, blasting
But we also see him
through.
attacking on nowhere.
That might be later.
No, I think it's earlier. Because you know who isn't in the scene where they arrive on the planet in the last trailer? Is Rocket's not there.
Well, they CGI stuff all the time. They like CGI characters out or whatever.
But he's not there, but he's there on the nowhere stuff. So I think, and the nowhere stuff is where we last saw them in the holiday special. So I think
but they move around all the time.
I think we start on nowhere. They're living on nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Adam Warlock randomly
shows up, pretty much like blows up everything they've been working on. They're like, okay, that was a big failure.
We got to run.
They're like, we'll go back to flying through space, doing adventures, right? Rocket gets kidnapped by the High Evolutionary. Gotta go get him. He's on this weird planet spaceship thing.
Adam Warlock
randomly the big space butthole. Big space butthole we see earlier?
No, that's the prison.
A prison?
Yeah, there's a prison.
For who?
We don't know yet, but we know that's a prison. They're trying to break someone out of prison.
I think they're trying to get Rocket out from the High Evolution.
No, because Drax is in prison.
Pause. Dang it, you missed it again. Anyway, I'll just tell you. Gamora is carrying a raccoon. And I think that's Rocket without the cybernetics. Like, look.
No, that's just Rocket.
It could just be Rocket, but why is Rocket not, like, running himself?
He could just be injured. Maybe his legs are small and he needs to be carried. There's so many reasons she could be doing that.
That's my theory.
Like,
okay?
That's clearly just Rocket because he has, like, pseudo-human arms.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, I think she's just carrying him because, like, it could just be, like, he's coming towards him. Obviously, he can't run that fast. She just grabs him and starts running. Because she would do that. Like, she might just instinctually pick him up and run. Like, that's not that much of a stretch. I think this is the cold open. I think they just happen to go to
I don't think this is the cold open. There's no way this is the cold open. Why is Gamora there if this is...
She's part of the crew.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
No.
Yeah.
She's with the Ravagers. We know that she's going to be, like, running around with the Ravagers at the start.
It doesn't matter. She's in the crew, like, in the movie.
Later on, she will be, but not at the start.
They can just be like, she's in with the crew now. Like, what? Why would they do that?
I think you're all wrong.
Why would they do that? That's just a waste of time.
She wasn't in it the last time we saw them.
That was 10 years ago.
No, that was the holiday special, like 4 weeks ago.
That wasn't 4 weeks ago.
That was like 2 months.
It was like 2 months ago.
Still.
It doesn't matter. That's not important.
I think you're wrong. I think this is 100%. I will bet you this is the third.
I mean, maybe they go here to pick her up or something.
You know what? This is the second act. Because this is where he's going to be injured and then die on the show.
Maybe. I don't think he doesn't look that injured, though.
But he's a raccoon. It's just to take a whole lot.
I think he's going to die in the... I think the High Evolutionary is going to get his hands on him and
he's
kill him.
going to die before the third act because that's what's going to motivate him to go in and then kill him.
Kill who?
The High Evolution. That'll be like the big third act death before we go in and shoot all the lasers.
No, I think...
And play the emotional 90s pop song.
I think that... I don't think Rocket's going to get injured until... I don't think he's going to get injured.
You don't think they'll kill him until like the very end of the movie?
Yeah, I think that's like the big end of movie. Like, this is a character we've had with us the whole time, and he's dying.
And I think
now.
multiple are going to die. The obvious thing is you're going to kill one in the middle and one at the very end.
I don't know if why would they kill why would they kill that many of them?
Well, because
Groot can't die again.
That's
he already died like
I know,
twice.
we talked about this when the first trailer came out, but
Drax will probably die.
Drax will probably die, and we know Rocket's going to die.
But I think they'll both die at the end.
Like at the same time? But then
not at the same time, but I think they'll both die like around the same part of the movie.
But if you do it back to back, then like you're going to take away from both of them by doing that.
I don't think
like you kill one before the third act that like motivates them to be all serious. And then you kill one at the very end.
I think Rocket, though, is going to get kidnapped by the High Evolutionary.
That's the plot of the movie, is that he's kidnapped.
Yeah, I think they go there to save him, and then he dies when they're trying to save him.
Yeah.
And then I think Drax sacrifices his life for them to like escape, or maybe to kill him, and then they escape or something like that.
I don't think they'll die, because we know Rocket's going to die in that scene where they're all like screaming on the ship in the medical bay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that you don't end the movie on just like that.
I don't think it ends like
we're screaming Rocket's dead and then the movie just.
I don't think it ends right at that. I don't think it ends like right. I don't think he dies and the movie cuts to black. I think that'll be in the third act. I think that'll be like the beginning.
I think that's gonna be like the climax
yeah,
and then we do the big fight after.
It could also. I think they might all die except Nebula too. That could also happen.
I don't think they'll all die.
And Groot. They're not gonna kill Groot again.
Gamora, Star-Lord.
So many of them have already died. Like. There's not really that many of them that we can kill off.
2 of them have died.
Well, 3 are gonna... We know that Drax and Rocket are gonna die.
Yeah.
The rest, I don't think...
Well, we don't know. Drax could just, like, retire and then we don't see him.
Yeah, but that'd be kind of lame.
Well, we know these characters are... They said this is gonna be, like, the last movie with these Guardians.
Yeah.
And so either some of them are gonna retire... So some of them are gonna have to retire because he said he's not gonna kill them all. So, like...
Yeah,
who's going to retire, who's going to die.
But I don't think Rocket's going to die, like, in the beginning of the movie.
I don't either, which is why I don't think this is the beginning of the movie.
I think, because they have all the uniforms and stuff in the beginning. I think that whole thing is to set up,
they have the whole uniforms the whole time.
I know, but I think that beginning part where they land there and they go, I think that's, like, to set up, like, okay, this is who the Guardians are now. I think that's, like, what this whole scene is like, this is who the Guardians are now. Where they're kind of, like, more organized. And then Adam Warlock attacks. He kind of throws them off balance. They just barely manage to escape. They go back to nowhere. Adam Warlock chases them to nowhere. They battle more. They lose a bunch of their stuff. Maybe that's where one of them died. I don't know, whatever. Adam Warlock blows up their stuff there.
The thing about this I can't piece together is Adam Warlock. I cannot for the life of me figure out how he plays into this.
Yeah, because that means that the
other than
Sovereign
just
are,
chasing them
involved.
around until the end when he becomes good.
See, I think,
and which it could be, but that wouldn't be good. Like that would be.
I think
bad.
Adam Warlock might be just like a red herring.
But also he's not, because like the trailers aren't focusing on him at all. He's just like in like a couple shots.
Yeah, I know the trailers aren't focusing him at all, but the trailers also rarely...
What if the High Evolutionary is a red herring?
That would be really dumb and wouldn't make any sense.
What if that plotline is resolved like halfway through?
And then kill Rocket like halfway through the movie and then do Adam Warlock randomly. Also, Rocket's here, obviously, so Adam Warlock and him fight.
Yeah, again, I just can't figure out how Adam Warlock is supposed to
I think Adam Warlock is just a... That's what I'm saying. I think
he's just a wild card.
I think Adam Warlock is just a beginning of movie goof guy. They battle him for a little bit. They end that whole little storyline, that little thing, and then they move on to the High Evolution.
Well, we know he's going to be a Guardian at the end because he's a Guardian.
Because I think
in the comics,
that's what makes the most sense for that character. Is like it's kind of a joke that they spend all this time building him up, and then in the beginning they kind of he goofs.
He said that he's going to be like a baby.
Like he's like Dum Dum mode.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Which I think that makes sense. I think with the way his character's been described, I think he's just a beginning of movie, like big action scene to start the movie off. But I think he's kind of just like a goof character that they. I
100% believe he'll show up at the end to help him shoot.
I bet they capture him here and they take him to nowhere, and he escapes somehow, and then he wrecks Nowhere up.
I think they're gonna.
And then they gotta go whatever.
My theory is Rocket dies.
He takes him to Nowhere. Mm-hmm. The High Evolutionary gets word of, hey, there's this super being at Nowhere. He comes in the chaos. Adam Warlock breaks out. Adam Warlock's wrecking stuff. The High Evolutionary's goons are wrecking stuff. All the Guardian stuff gets destroyed. Rocket gets kidnapped in the chaos. The rest manage to escape. Nowhere's gone, so they lost access to that. Adam Warlock kind of can just do his own thing, whatever. He's not really important anymore.
Well, he's still
and that just sort of explains how the Evolutionary got even involved in this. Because Adam Warlock is supposed to be like the perfect super being or whatever. And with Adam Warlock, with the High Evolutionary, that being his main goal, I could see him wanting that as like a plot point. That would make sense in my head.
It's interesting.
Anyways, let's finish this trailer here. Also, we saw Rocket running in that scene. He's a baby with an otter boy.
I think this is the actual very.
Yeah, this is the end of the movie. There, fighting on this ship. There's Otter Friend. There's Cosmo.
I forgot Cosmo.
Okay. What is that?
He said it had a name on Twitter.
That's Baby
named
Yoda.
Blorf or something.
That's Blorf Baby Yoda. Anyway, I think that scene where Nebula's cheering or whatever. I think that's actually the very very.
I think that's on Nowhere.
Yeah, I think that's the last, one of the actual last in the movie.
We're gonna do the whole Gamora. They're gonna have another romance.
They kind of hint at the Nebula thing, though. I don't know.
I think that's just a bit. I don't think they're
maybe. We have this whole thing going on. They're fighting. There's Adam Warlock. He's on Nowhere. There's Adam Warlock and Drax just sort of locking in combat. They're doing.
You gotta scroll through him.
Okay, see, this is I think this is a prison.
That is definitely a prison. Yeah.
And see, Drax is in
that's High Evolutionary.
Yeah, I think he's disseminating propaganda to them. But that's Drax.
But it's his prison though.
Yeah, but
I feel like they're all gonna get captured.
Drax is later on, and I'll show you. Oh yeah, they're all in
the jumpsuits
thing. But see, he's the one they're carrying out. So I think he'll get injured here. I don't think he'll die here, but I think this is where. Yeah, so that they're in this prison. This also, I think this weird sort of goopy place. I think that's where they were doing the Among Us thing.
Blurp. That's the little fuzzy thing.
I think the Among Us thing is them escaping this prison thing.
No.
Because also
the Among Us thing.
The Among Us suits look like these guys.
Suits.
They have the same
But
knobs.
this is all that weird
yeah, it's all the same weird
of
stuff.
That big space.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's a prison.
Also, he floats.
We have High Evolutionary tackling him. Okay, what is this?
No,
Earth?
See, that's why I think this is that planet they were on. That's the whole suburban area.
I think that might be a reoccurring location, though. I think that might be a place they go to.
But I think that's where they are, and then
I think that's his
And
base.
High Evolutionary is there, and he's on he's got.
Yeah. That might be
cube.
It might be that one of the people on that planet sent out a distress signal. The Guardians show up there. They're not really sure what's going on. Adam Warlock turns out is the cause of the distress. He comes out guns blazing. Mm-hmm. They capture him. They take him off back to Nowhere. The High Evolutionary got the data from because it was on his little planet. He's like, oh yes, this being is exactly what I'm looking for. Then he goes to Nowhere in order to take him back to his planet or whatever. And then they just kind of ping pong back and forth. Got Got them doing stuff.
Mantis is around.
And stuff's exploding. Oh no, things.
Oh, they're
really
sad.
bad.
Okay, hold up. Who are these?
Those are random guys from.
That kind of looks like him. Anyway,
those are just dudes.
I guess.
No rockets. Okay, see, this is. I think this is the prison. I think this is them escaping.
This is them escaping. Yeah.
Got the blob
On the Bowie. This is from the start. I feel like that's just a comedy scene.
Yeah, see, that's why I think this whole Adam Warlock thing, I think that all takes place at the beginning, and it's sort of a goof.
Yeah, no, I 100% believe it takes place at the beginning.
Because
I just feel like that starts on Nowhere.
I think this is the aftermath of him attacking Nowhere. See, they're all like kind of just chilling. He's been knocked out, but otherwise, like, it's fine. Yeah. Like, they've clearly subdued him. And maybe he breaks out like later on, but clearly, like, at the beginning, it's not an issue.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm excited. I'm
hyped.
This is the first Marvel movie I've been hyped. Well, I was hyped for Doctor Strange. It just ended up being.
Only it had a script.
Only they.
Good thing James Gunn writes the scripts before. That was a smart.
That's a good move. They should do more.
This was the opposite of their usual thing, where this was a script that was written in like 2018.
Yeah, a long time ago,
and then sat on a desk for 3 years.
Yeah, because they were all too busy.
Because they fired James Gunn, he went and made 2 other things, and then they brought him back and had to make this.
I also wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of similar, like, crossing over ideas between that and the Suicide Squad movie, because I have a feeling a lot of what went into that movie was stuff that was repurposed from this movie when he originally got fired.
What do you mean, like
like ideas that he had for this movie?
But
that's
some Marvel thing, and this is.
Yeah, but it's the same guy making them.
But like, what is he repurposing?
I don't know.
Big Starfish Man.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some ideas that we can see.
There's gonna be similar themes, but there always has been. These movies are about family.
Like,
Speaking of movies about family, Sam,
the Fast X.
There was a trailer for Fast X. Vin Diesel is back, and he's faster than ever.
Faster than ever before.
Maybe. What's his usual speed?
I don't know.
This trailer is 4 minutes long.
It's a long
also,
trailer.
It's just the whole movie.
I'm not going to be pausing this one.
No, I don't care. It's literally from start to finish the entire movie. We're going to start off. They're eating. They're eating with the family. They're all happy.
He's a mechanic now, I guess.
He's back to fixing cars. He's got a son. He's driving his cool car.
Got a hot wife.
His wife is like, I wish I could leave, but I can't because he'll kill me. Vin Diesel is
that his kid?
Trying to emote. That's his kid.
Okay. The Universal logo's
and
a headlight now.
Sam, the spies are coming to call.
The spies are back. It's
Jason Momoa. He's got those.
It's him.
He's got bombs.
He's got him.
He's gonna go after the family one by one. He's gonna get them all.
Why does every movie have the magnetic under the car bomb now?
I don't know.
That's like
also they're not real things.
That's a bizarre trope that just is constantly reoccurring.
It's like it stopped being cool when it was first introduced.
Yeah. But so the movie is they stole the safe from him, and now he wants
back
revenge.
In like Fast and Furious 5 or 6, they steal a big safe.
Turns out it was this guy's,
and it was this guy's, or like related. He's related.
No,
to
I think
the
it
guy,
was this guy's.
And his whole family was killed. Now he's going after Dom's family because he's evil and wants revenge. So he's gonna blow up all their cars with his even
one of
bigger,
them.
what's
yeah.
Also, Brie Larson's in this.
Brie Larson is the dead guy's
John Cena's
sister.
back. He's part of the family now. He's going to blow up all the cars. All of the family are going to be taken out. And then the finale will be them having a street race to decide who dies or whatever.
Yep, there's a big ball.
Looks amazing. Look, a big metal ball.
That is a big ball. It sure is a Fast and Furious.
Look
how furious he is. Look how fast he's...
Like,
why is he...
Okay, pause.
Was he using a car door as a Captain America shield? I'm not pausing.
Is it just me, or does it look like Jason Momoa is green screened into every single scene in this?
He doesn't even... He looks like not... He doesn't look like Jason Momoa.
He doesn't look like he's there. It looks like they shot all of his stuff. I love how we're back to gratuitous butt shots from like 2001. I love
he looks like a guy dressed up like Jason Momoa.
They're going to resolve it in a street race. Dom's driving his car.
Like, his beard does not look right.
Jason Momoa is driving his, and then I think that's Daniela Melchior in the final one.
He has to do it.
She's in this also. I don't know why she's there.
He's got a bazooka on his car.
They got a bazooka car.
Yeah, bazooka car.
Why is this happening?
Right. Yep.
Jason Statham's
here.
back.
It's just like this guy's here. All right, this guy's here.
Han's
all right.
there. Han's back now.
Yeah, because in the last
he's
one
again.
Well, in the last one, he showed up to his house and was like, "I gotta do a mission. We gotta put a crew together."
Brie Larson's
there, and she's a super spy.
I saw one thing that she's playing Paul Walker's sister, but I couldn't
she's
confirm
playing Paul
that.
Walker's sister, who has also secretly been a spy this whole time.
Who is also still not canonically dead in this universe.
He just is gone.
He's always just watching the kids.
Yeah.
While this is happening.
Which this one, the kid is kidnapped. So
also, his car is just like Dom's car is just an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, it's just invincible. And
It's
it
invincible.
does whatever
It
he
just
wants.
Does everything. Like,
yeah,
look at
he
this.
just presses a button and it's heavy enough to crash helicopters.
No, that's not.
That doesn't
how
make any
cars
sense.
Work.
He just presses a button and it gets heavier.
Fine. It's so dumb.
Why is it a headlight shape? What is this?
Okay, I don't know what this is, but Charlize Theron and what's Dom's wife?
They like do brain
are
swap.
Like in a lab. I think they got to be doing a brain swap, right?
I don't know what's going on.
So
For some reason, they're
confusing.
beating each other up. Okay.
I don't know. What is this?
Yeah.
Why does it take itself so seriously?
What if I told you it was mastered in Dolby X though? Or Dolby Atmos.
Why? No, you know what? I understand why, but like, why are they acting like this is a cool, serious thing?
Cool. What do you mean? It is cool. Always.
No, it's
as serious as Lord of the Rings, according to
the weirdest part about this franchise is they go back and forth on whether or not it's a joke or whether or not it's serious.
The last one was
like
obviously
F9.
a joke.
They were like, "This one's a joke, guys."
Yeah, they go to space.
Fast and Furious 8. They were like, "This one's serious."
This one's for real.
Hobbs and Shaw. They were like, "This one's a joke." Fast and Furious 7. They were like, "This one's serious." Like they're just constantly going back and forth on which ones are serious.
Yeah,
and which
what's
ones are dumb.
Ryan? Deadpool guy.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was.
He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, he was like the FBI director.
He's
guy.
not in this though. There's no way he's in this.
I really hope
they can't afford him. He's too busy.
Oh, but it'd be so funny.
The only reason they got Brie Larson is because she's not working.
Yeah, she's kind of. Has she done anything since
Captain Marvel?
I
think she did like a Netflix movie.
She was in a Netflix movie where she like paints.
Yeah,
but I think that was before Captain Marvel.
That might have been before.
That was like a little bit before, I think.
See, has she done? She has that YouTube channel.
What does she do on her YouTube channel?
Lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't care about like a real job. Well, not that YouTube's not a real job, but real big time stuff.
She's like been producing stuff.
Okay,
She voiced a Fortnite character.
Oh yeah, she plays Paradigm in the Fortnite.
I cannot believe you remembered that name.
No, she's in the game twice now.
Sam,
because she's
this is not good.
Because you know how The Rock was like a character.
Yes,
it was like that.
Sam,
same
what's
thing.
The Rock's character's name?
Oh, he's the Foundation.
Oh my god,
because it's like a rock, but he's like that's like the same thing. Foundation is a big rock.
Yeah, no, she's done like nothing since Captain Marvel.
She was in
Endgame.
You know, your career is going good when your roles are Fast X and Fortnite lore.
I mean, she's getting paid. Like,
and she wasn't even like a paid skin. Like she was a Battle Pass character.
I'm not talking about Fortnite.
Yeah, she got paid from Fortnite.
I'm saying to do like, if you're gonna be in 2 movies and you like money, being in Fast and Furious and being in Avengers is probably a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, she's also in the Marvels. That's coming out.
Yeah, I mean that's. And apparently,
oh yeah, she's in the post-credit scene for
Shang-Chi.
No,
no. Miss Marvel.
She was in the post-credit scene for Miss Marvel, not for Shang-Chi. She wasn't in the Shang-Chi.
Yeah, she was.
No, she wasn't.
In
the Shang-Chi post-credit scene, the Wong shows up and he goes, "Come with me." And they're at that cocktail party with their friends, and they go through the big portal. And then he goes, "Look, they're sending a signal." And he goes, "Where?" And Bruce Banner goes, "Space, maybe."
Who was there with Bruce Banner as a hologram?
Oh, I don't know. Was she there as a hologram? I don't know.
She was.
All right, well, she was there as a hologram. I forgot about that.
That was when we found out she had another new haircut.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty good haircut though.
That's better than.
She's wearing a lot of makeup.
She looks like Peggy Carter in that.
She kind of does.
That makeup on.
That's a better haircut than her other one though.
Well, the other one just was no hair. So
why do they keep switching? Can't they just pick?
How does she grow her hair out that fast too?
Space magic.
Doesn't that take place like
space magic
a year after? Space magic makes your hair grow faster.
Yeah, apparently.
All right.
It also makes you not age.
Are there any other big trailer? Do you want to talk about the M&Ms?
There was one. No, I don't want to care. No. There was also a trailer for Air.
Air?
Which is the Ben Affleck movie about Nike signing Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah. That movie actually looks
kind of
good.
Fun.
No, this movie actually does
Wrong
look good.
thing. I think you just clicked on the trailer for The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's something.
But
This one. Different movie called Air.
But this one looks fun. You can't really go wrong with the lead four. It's Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Yeah, it's a
Jason
classic.
Bateman, Viola Davis. Like
All
that's a
big
That's
names.
a pretty good cast. And the only reason they could afford the Super Bowl spot for this was because it's Amazon, and Amazon's got the big bucks.
Oh, is it not coming to theaters?
It is, but I think it's going to be like
It's an Amazon Studios
like
thing?
a month, and then it'll be on Prime.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that Parks and Rec or
Jason
that
Bateman?
guy was in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. He's funny. He
Yeah.
should be in more stuff.
Ben Affleck's directing it too, which is,
Something. Didn't he direct Good Will Hunting?
but it looks neat. It looks like a dad movie. So,
Definitely a dad movie.
It's definitely a dad movie,
This is definitely Top Gun type of thing.
but not as big though.
No,
Like, obviously-
this is not a Top Gun level movie.
But this is your dad going, "Hey, I remember when Michael Jordan.
I remember Michael Jordan. I remember Nike.
It was in 1984.
I love Nike. Those are my favorite shoes.
But it looks fun. I think it's funny that like this was like it's like Flash, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Indiana Jones 5, Nike
Movie
Michael
about
Jordan
Michael
movie.
Jordan shoes.
Creed 3. Like it's just like a weird outlier.
A really long ad for Jordans.
Kinda.
This
Anyway.
is literally what this
I mean, you
is.
can stop it here. It looks fun.
I bet you they're not going to mention. I said this when I saw this trailer for. They're not going to mention once Bugs Bunny.
You think Michael
He was just as important to marketing those shoes as Michael Jordan was.
think Michael Jordan will appear in like a post-credit scene or something? To set up the
Post credit? What do you what? Like in Kingsman, where they tease Hitler, like they tease Michael Jordan.
Like he shows up at that.
What do you
Like
even?
it's a
what?
famous actor. He's playing Michael Jordan, and then they're
Why
like,
wouldn't they just have
no.
Michael Jordan?
because he's old now.
CGI him.
No, but like they have a famous actor show up to play him, and then they're like, "We have an offer from Looney Tunes," and then the teaser is the next one is about Space Jam.
That's really.
I'm building you a cinematic universe, Ben Affleck.
Really
Think
dumb.
about
That is just really, really dumb.
it's super dumb, and this movie's gonna make no money.
Movie will make enough money. Oh, what's the budget? Do we know?
I don't know. They probably won't say.
It'll make money.
Anyway, and then we got a trailer for Creed 3 that you don't have to play. It was really short. It's just him boxing. It's just
Yeah.
like to remind you that it's happening. And then
Put Kevin Feige back up there.
and then we got 3 trailers. So we have 2 trailers that released before the Super Bowl. They called them big game spots, but they didn't actually air during the game.
Yeah, they were just.
That was
around
John
time.
Wick Chapter 4, which just looks more like John Wick. But the thing about John Wick
They
Chapter
took all the John Wick movies off HBO Max.
they're on Prime now, I think.
No, they're on Hulu.
And Hulu?
They're on Hulu.
It's so hard to keep track.
And I was like, okay.
No, they're on Peacock.
Oh,
I pay for
man.
Peacock.
Oh,
I still have to watch
I wanted to watch those.
The third one? I think
I'm not
I
paying
watched-
for Peacock, by the way. Peacock executives, I'm not paying for that. Why do you have Peacock?
No, I was watching Poker Face.
What is Poker Face?
That's Ryan Johnson's show.
Ryan Johnson has a show?
It's like a detective show. It's like a mystery.
All right, yeah.
But
Just
anyway.
send me your thing.
Yeah,
I do want to watch those.
I still have. Yeah, I think I still have to watch the third one. But
I
the,
told my Twitch chat I'd watch them.
but the fourth one, Sam, gonna be 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's,
3-hour John Wick movie.
Honestly, I'm fine with that.
It's a one-note idea.
No, but like
3 hours.
Listen.
What are we doing?
John Wick is not an idea that like the more of it you have, it doesn't degrade the value of what you have. It's like French fries. Like you can order, like if you order a small fries, you'll eat that and you'll be like, oh, okay, I had fries. If you order a medium fries, you'll be like, okay, I had fries. If you order like a large fries, you'll be like, yeah, those were good fries. And like you can order basically any amount of fries and you'll basically not notice a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you'll notice like I've eaten too many fries. I want a break. I want to eat something else.
and then you go watch something else.
I want something with my meal other than just a lot of fries.
But then 5 years later, you get a new batch of fries. A really big batch of fries.
3 hours. Damn. John Wick has no storyline.
Maybe they're going to go all in on the story.
There's no story.
Maybe this one's going to be different.
It's guy in suit with henchmen want to kill John Wick. John Wick kills henchmen and then the guy in the
that's
suit.
a great idea. We should make more of those.
It's fine. I'm fine with there being a John Wick 4. My problem is that it's 3 hours long.
Okay, would you rather have 4 movies with basically no story but really good action?
Yes.
Or do like The Matrix, where it's like one movie with a good story, a second movie with an okay story, a third movie with a really bad story, or a fourth movie with an abysmal story, but they all have pretty good action?
I don't have a problem with John Wick 4. I have a problem with it just being action. Like, that's fine with me. But I want that in like a concise, like, hour 30, hour 45 minute, like, cool action injection. I don't want to, like, immerse myself in a world where the only thing that happens for 3 hours is Keanu Reeves just walks around shooting people in different locations.
That's awesome. That's what everyone wants.
That's cool for an hour and a half. But then you get into, like, the 2:20 mark, and you're like, okay, what are we doing
There's
here?
already, like, 6 hours worth of John Wick content. Clearly people are not tired of it.
Yes. What is happening in John Wick 4? They already did the third one where everyone was hunting him.
Now there's a different group hunting him.
Who's
for something else?
The bigger group?
Yeah.
The more evil or syndicate?
You know how... you saw Chuck, right?
I never watched Chuck.
Okay, well, in Chuck, like, they beat Fulcrum, which is like the evil organization. Yeah. And then there's an eviler organization that was controlling them that they discover, and then they beat those guys. And then there's an eviler organization that was controlling those guys, and then they beat that guy. And then finally, in the last season,
that's too many evil organizations.
Evil organization that was controlling those guys.
That's too many evil organizations.
Nah, you can never have too many evil organizations.
I think they've already said they're doing a 5 also.
Yeah, they said they're making another trilogy.
Doing another... Keanu Reeves is getting old.
Just age doesn't matter. Just CGI them when they get old. We don't need new movie stars. We don't need those. We can just keep the old ones forever.
Spin-off movie with Ana de Armas. Yeah.
Well, whatever. No one cares about that.
All right, and then there was a Scream 6 trailer.
Don't care.
Sam hates it. I'm pessimistic.
I don't even hate this one yet.
Also,
I really hated the 5th one.
The killers leaked.
Leaked?
Like they were just like the whole movie. Like,
is it Olivia Rodrigo?
I didn't look at them. If you don't want to know, I would block it on like block the keywords on like all your social media.
Well,
websites.
The thing is I don't care at all.
Because there's just pictures floating around. If you do find it, don't tell me.
I won't. I don't. I literally do not care enough to take the 10 seconds.
You know you're gonna have to see it, right?
Yeah, but I don't care.
I'm gonna make you watch it.
I will fall asleep.
And then
the scream killer starts stabbing, I sleep.
And then after
Olivia Rodrigo, I wake.
It's not even Olivia Rodrigo.
She's in the first part, whatever her name is. You know what I mean.
They're looking at
who's Olivia Rodrigo?
She was in the Jake Paul Disney show.
Right. Isn't she also in like the Outer Banks or something?
No, she's also like a mega pop star.
Well, I'm not talking about her.
No, that's Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, I'm talking about Jenna Ortega. I don't care about Olivia Rodrigo.
Ortega was in the TV show
I don't even
Wednesday.
know I don't even know.
Sam, do you remember that really popular show everyone was talking about for like 4 months?
Bazaardvark?
No, it's
the Jake Paul show, Bazaardvark.
Jenna Ortega was in the TV show Wednesday.
I know that. I'm not talking about that.
Popular.
I'm talking about Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo was in Bazaardvark with Jake Paul.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what Olivia Rodrigo looks like. I don't even know. I legit just confused their names.
She was in High School Musical.
I didn't watch that
series. I know you didn't. I did though.
Well, you didn't watch Netflix, and I
watched
did.
the first
you didn't watch Wednesday,
and then I got to the third one, and I was like, "No, why am I still doing this?"
At least Wednesday was like
that's Olivia.
Actually,
Rodrigo.
Wednesday was kind of not. Oh, she looks like Millie Bobby Brown, but with more hair.
Not really at all. But okay.
Look up Millie Bobby Brown, bro. They look to bring it up.
Not at all.
Bring up the facts. Bring up the fact sheet. We're getting to the bottom of this right now. Do the one with brown hair. Yeah, now pull. Actually, she looks like Natalie Portman too. But yeah, does she not look like Natalie
does
Portman?
look
Though?
like Natalie
She looks
Portman, though.
exactly like Natalie Portman. That's creepy. I just now thought about that.
Anyway,
I didn't even. That thought is a new thought.
And then there was a TV spot for The Little Mermaid that looks god awful. The effects look bad. It's not good. It's just not looking good.
Okay, see, because when they CGI'd all of Lion King, there was no human characters to like have a frame of reference.
And also, it was like a forest.
But when you do this...
Actually, no, it was mostly a desert. It was really a lot of just the desert.
There's, like, human characters, so you have, like, a frame of reference, which, like, kind of, like...
Well, you have to, like...
Thing.
Everything is cartoon, except for, like, here to here. Like...
Yeah, because her hair is
their
CGI.
waist to, like, their forehead has to be a real person. And then everything else in the scene has to be computer generated.
Yep.
It's just not looking good. That movie is not going to be good. It's not going to get good reviews.
Well, okay, it'll be fine. It's just Little Mermaid again. It'll be fine. Like, we know it'll be fine. It's the same movie.
I think it'll still make a lot of money, though, because it's Little Mermaid.
Yeah. They're effectively just re-releasing
I think this is their
Mermaid.
last, like, big name remake.
I don't think they have anything.
They don't have any.
else too
They
big
don't
to
have any
remake.
other like giant ones. They've done Beauty and the Beast. They've done Lion King. They've done Cinderella. They've done Alice in Wonderland.
Did they? They haven't done Snow
They
White.
did Aladdin.
They haven't done Snow White.
They did Maleficent. Oh, that's
Does
Sleeping
not
Beauty.
count.
That's Sleeping Beauty. No, they're doing Snow White. Snow White's.
Yeah, that's the last one.
They're doing that one. Yeah.
And that's ironically was their first movie.
Yeah.
So.
That won't be the last one. That'll be the last one that's like
The last big one.
That'll be the last one that's like a remake of a movie anyone's actually heard of.
They shouldn't do.
Because then they'll be like, the Black Cauldron. Remember that?
That might actually be good. A live action Black Cauldron.
Yeah, maybe they could make a good movie.
Maybe they'd make it good.
They wouldn't though.
All right, what's next?
That's it.
Is that it for the trailers? All right, we got to talk about Ant-Man. But first, I'm going to pause because I have to go to the bathroom. We are now. All right, we're back. I went to the bathroom. Okay,
so Sam,
time to talk about
Ant-Man,
Bugman and the Mosquito.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, directed by Peyton Reed, being played by Jeff Loveness. It is the third Ant-Man movie. More importantly, the 31st MCU movie.
Or more importantly, the worst.
Sam, what did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania?
I think that this movie was two totally unrelated movies that were smushed into one movie that should have remained totally unrelated movies. I think the main villain, spoilers, I guess, kind of, not really.
I'll
He's on
try
all the
not to do
posters.
spoilers right away.
They know Kang's the villain.
Well, that's not a spoiler. That's the whole like advertising point of the movie.
So Kang's the villain. He's the big bad. He's really good and he's really cool.
The actor is good.
Well, I like Kang is not even bad in the movie. He's just in the wrong movie.
Yeah?
He's a super serious, sort of methodical villain with all these grand evil plans, and every time he says something cool, MODOK says something stupid or Ant-Man says something stupid, and it ruins every scene he's in.
Yeah, I think the big problem here is our script. Our patchwork. Like, this is a first draft of a movie. But they've just, like, forced it out because they have nothing else to put out. It's full of, like, half-baked plot points and ideas, and, like, large portions of characterization is off.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that is very cool. Like, I actually like what they did with the quantum realm. I think they made it a lot more interesting.
I have a problem with it.
I just think it makes no sense at all in the context of every other time they've been here.
Okay, let's take, just for comparison's sake, let's take.
See, this is why I always do the recap.
Let's
People
take
know what I'm talking about.
what we know. Let's take what we know about the quantum realm before this movie, right?
Yes.
We know Janet was stuck in there for like 30 years, right?
Yes.
And when she came out, she was wearing the same outfit.
And have powers.
She was older, and she had magical healing powers, right?
Which she doesn't seem to use ever once.
And then they send Scott Lang in there to gather healing particles
In the post-credit scene for Ant-Man
of
2.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then he gets stuck in there
Because they get snapped.
because they get snapped, and then he comes out 5 years later, but for
For him,
him
it's been 5 hours.
it's been 5 hours because of weird time stuff.
Because time works differently in the
Now,
quantum realm.
we've already got an inconsistency in that Janet Van Dyne aged 30 years, even though the time works differently in the quantum realm.
okay, they do explain, like, there are places in the quantum realm that you can go accidentally that cause you
weird time pockets.
Yeah, there are like time
where
dilation
time accelerates
zones,
or doesn't,
which makes sense because that's how they identifying and manipulating those is how they time travel later on in the game. So like I'm okay with that. I understand Janet being there for like 30 odd years, probably figured out how to avoid and navigate those. Even if she did fall into one, she probably got back out. Like she'd been there for a long time. She probably figured it out.
I felt
Ant-Man didn't. This was the first time he'd been there.
The quantum realm felt like one little area.
It felt
where everyone and everything was happening, and then the rest of it just there's nothing going.
It just felt like space.
It was just a space. It was an outer space planet. There was nothing that made it like unique.
Remember the Disney,
to what it is, which is like the microscopic.
Remember the Disney
world.
hit film Strange World?
Yes.
It was just that.
It was
planet.
Strange World. Yeah.
It was the Strange World planet.
Just where there's just nonsense creatures
Where there's just nonsense creatures everywhere. There's like some dudes that are just like, this is a normal thing, isn't it?
And all the main characters just conveniently are identical to the humans.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Like humans just also evolved in this microscopic, like beyond microscopic climate. Like, huh? Now, I did like some of the technology. I thought like the goop was cool. Like I like that a lot of their technology was like bio technology. I thought that was kind of fun. We've seen it before, but it was fun to see their like version of it.
Yeah, but again, my biggest problem here is this script is written by Jeff Loveness, who has never written a feature before. Okay, that's sign number one.
Yeah, it's not a great. I mean,
now what he is
obviously filmmakers always have to make their first film,
but this usually not
one of the biggest.
The third
movies
entry in a franchise on a $200 million budget.
Set to launch the next phase of this massive media empire.
5 years of story.
Yeah.
But again, my problem is the script. It feels he's from Rick and Morty. He's a Rick and Morty writer.
That's where he got his.
And you can tell because this is a 2-hour episode of Rick and Morty where we've taken Rick and Morty and swapped him out with the Ant-Man family.
You know what?
And that's it.
Someone said this on TikTok, and I don't remember who, but I'm gonna.
I know what you're saying.
Someone said that this feels like a Fantastic Four movie with the Ant-Man characters as the main characters, and I fully agree with that.
100%. This is a Fantastic Four
This is
story.
very much going to a strange place to investigate it. That's what the Fantastic Four do. For those of you who don't know, they're not like the Avengers. They don't like fight. Yeah. I mean, they have villains, but that's not their main thing. What they usually do is like experiments and science things. This is totally within their wheelhouse. They definitely would have gone to the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror feels like a much more Fantastic Four-y type character anyways. He was an Avengers villain first and foremost, always.
Well, that's not Kang the Conqueror but Nathaniel Richards
is a
first
Fantastic
appeared in
Four
Fantastic
guy.
Four. But that's the whole other thing. He was Rama Tut in that comic. But anyway, he's a Pharaoh Emperor, man.
Which we do see, actually.
That's kind of a spoiler. But anyway, so we have our main cast of characters. You've got Scott Lang. You've got Cassie Lang, his daughter, who's been recast, who is fine. Catherine Newton's fine. I don't know why they felt the need to recast the role.
Yeah,
she's not.
Maybe it felt unnecessary. I feel like the other actress was. I think the other actress.
If she knocked it out of the park, I would have been like, okay, she did a really good job.
But she didn't seem to do anything.
But she was just
different.
She just kind of did like
I will say though,
left.
She felt like a goofier version of the character. Cassie.
Also, how old is she?
I believe.
Wasn't she like 6 in the first Ant-Man?
She was. It was her birthday during the movie.
Yeah,
I believe she was turning either 5 or 6.
I know that in this she's 18. I can 100% tell you she should not.
Hang on, because there's
missing
she's
years.
Like 6. She's like 6 in the first one. Or look up her age. Actually, is she 8?
Not for creepy purposes.
just so we can work out this timeline.
Yeah, just so I can, because I know they were like, well, let's make her an
because there's a
adult.
scene where she was 10.
She's 6 in the first
Six?
one.
Okay.
And then she's 9 in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then there's a 5-year time jump. Presuming that, and so Ant-Man and the Wasp ends like during Infinity War,
Thanos,
which takes place in 2018. So presumably she was 9 there. There's a 5-year gap.
So there's a 5-year gap between Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2.
There's a 3-year gap. And then there's a 5-year. And then in Endgame, there's a 5-year time jump.
So she's 9 in Ant-Man 2.
Yes. And then when we see her in Endgame, she's 14.
Then there's a 5-year time jump, so she's 14.
Even though in that movie she looks like 25.
That's fine.
But she's technically 14.
So she's 14, and then how much time is there between...
There must have been a 4-year time jump then.
That's fine. That's normal.
I guess.
4 years between Endgame and Ant-Man 3.
That was how much
Yeah,
time
that sounds
was in
about
real
right.
life. Yeah. So this takes place in...
So it's right on the line.
Yeah, but this movie starts... Scott Lang is living his best life.
Chilling.
He saved the world.
Everybody loves him. He's a world famous author.
They just ride over the fact that Hope Van Dyne apparently restarted Pym Technologies and is like doing a bunch of science now.
Yeah, she's just the CEO
and they
of
just
that
were
now.
just like, oh, that's happening. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. They don't.
Speaking of the Wasp,
they don't focus. They don't focus a lot on what's going on in the normal world.
Yeah,
and I think that's just because so little of the movie takes place there. Like, only I think 20 minutes of the, what is this, 2 hours long?
Yeah.
Only about 20 minutes of that 2-hour runtime is in the real world. And once they get into the quantum realm, they don't go back into the real world until the very end. And they're only in the real, there's only real world to credits for maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's maybe 10 minutes at the beginning where they're just establishing that his life's hunky-dory, and 5 minutes there at the end.
Speaking of the Wasp, for a movie called Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, the Wasp does nothing this whole time. They give her nothing to do.
No, I don't think that's true. I mean, they split the cast up, so like her quest didn't immediately affect like Ant-Man's quest.
What quest?
So he was trying to get like his daughter uncaptured.
Yeah.
Because his daughter got captured like right when they got to the quantum realm.
Yeah.
So his goal is to shrink the big orb so that Kang lets his daughter
This is
go.
all spoilers, I guess.
Yeah. Kind of spoilers.
Mild spoilers.
So, okay, let me just establish what's happening. Kang had this orb that he was using to power his spaceship, his like space-time chair.
The plot device.
Back when Hope Van Dyne was in the quantum realm at the beginning, like before the movie even started, back when she was like trapped there. She used Pym particles to make it real big, and then she ran
so that he couldn't use it.
So that he couldn't use it, and then she escaped. She left him behind, and that's when she leaves the quantum realm. Kang got his suit back, like in the short time the chair was activated before she blew it up. So he uses his suit and his technology to take over the quantum realm.
Yeah.
But he can't escape unless he gets his orb back. So Cassie, Ant-Man's daughter, sends a signal. He brings them all down because he's like, I can use them to fix my thing.
She's a young character in Marvel,
and they're all geniuses.
She's really good at technology.
Yes. So he captures her. He's like, all right, Ant-Man, I've got your daughter. Now shrink my thingamabob so I can leave. He shrinks the thingamabob. He gives it to him. In the meantime,
I want there to be
when they get taken to the quantum realm, their quests diverge. So now the Wasp's quest is just to find Ant-Man. And, guys, busy.
And Nick this time.
And so she and Hank Pym and Janet are in a separate group from Ant-Man and his daughter.
Yep.
And their goal is to find them. And that's where we get a lot of the exposition. They go through that's her quest is really we're like seeing what's in how the quantum realm works. Even in that
whole subplot, like she does nothing.
Yeah, she doesn't really do much. It's more just like her
she shows up
mom
at there's like a couple action sequences, and all she does is show up at like the end of them and like help Scott out, and then like that's it. Like the Wasp has no character development, no like central storyline. She's split up with Ant-Man for the majority of the movie.
Yeah.
It really should be called Ant-Man and Cassie Lang. Since that's really what was it. It's Cassie Lang's probably in it more than the Wasp is.
Yeah, I mean the Wasp just didn't really do a lot of Wasp stuff.
It feels so early for them to do stature as well.
Yeah, it also like They didn't do anything to differentiate her.
No,
from
she just has a
Ant-Man.
purple Ant-Man costume. She just does all
They
the
didn't
same
even
stuff.
bother saying she had like a name or whatever. Like she
No, they
just
don't
has
call
a
her
suit.
stature. She's just there.
She
Like
just
the
has
movie
a suit.
starts, she's a genius and she's already got the powers. Like,
And I think they explain in
just
the
skipped all
very
that.
beginning of the movie very quickly. Like Scott doesn't want to do the fighting anymore because he's like done his time. And so
also, like, yeah.
and so Hank like gave Cassie a suit because he wants her to like
Everyone
continue
in this
it.
movie is like whining at him for like not doing crime fighting still, and I'm like,
He's
he did
old
save
now.
the world. Like maybe give him a. Also, there's a million superheroes.
Yeah, they got it covered.
Maybe he can just not. He's Ant-Man. What's he
Yeah.
gonna do? What's he gonna do?
And his daughter's like, you lost
You should
you
be
lost your fight. You don't
Blowing
want to
up
fight
police
anymore.
cars or whatever she's up to.
Yeah, what was she doing?
She got
why is
arrested
in jail?
for.
She got arrested at the beginning of the
She
movie.
gets arrested in jail for blowing up not blowing, but like shrinking a police car.
Yeah, she shrunk a police car because they were like clearing out a crowd of
Like
protesters
Or like
something.
a homeless.
Yeah,
encampment or
there was a
something.
homeless encampment in the park that they were clearing out, and so she shrunk one of their police cars.
How dare they do their jobs? Anyway, but yeah, it's Cassie Lang. Like she doesn't really do anything. She just like screams "Dad" for 2 hours.
Yeah, she kind of has like.
They don't establish what her abilities are if she has any that are.
Well, she doesn't.
From
She
the
doesn't
others.
use her suit till the very end of the movie. Like she puts it on, and she does the shrink.
She
stuff.
does the shrinky
She does
punch.
the shrinky stuff, but she doesn't do the. She grows big at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Also,
I thought they had to keep the.
they have to keep
on.
the helmets on, or they go insane.
They pop them off all the time.
That's why Yellow Jacket went crazy, is because he was doing it and he didn't have a helmet. He didn't have the right kind of helmet on.
Yeah.
So they just forgot about that.
Why do they do?
Because Hank Pym and Janet both don't have helmets the entire movie.
They do this in all of, and it must be.
They just forgot.
No, it must be a contractual thing where the actors have to.
No,
have,
they
I'm
forgot.
I'm not talking about Ant-Man, but this is the thing in like all of them. Like in every Marvel movie, like anytime Spider-Man is not directly fighting someone, his mask is off. Like they're constantly taking the masks off. It's got to be a contractual thing where like the actor's face have to be on camera.
Like X
For
amount
a
of
certain
the
amount of
movie.
time of like a percentage of the movie.
Yeah, maybe.
But like they'll shrink and then their mask will come off, or they'll like get real big and then their mask will come off. Like they only have it in like the transitional period. I'm like, you have established in this universe that the mask is what prevents you from becoming a crazy person.
Yeah, like that's part of the
Why
lore.
do you pop it off like all the time? Makes no sense. Speaking of makes no sense, Sam, what did you think of all of the just terrible plot lines that were forced into? Like the whole revolution thing. Remember the whole revolution thing? That had
that was like random. That
did not need to be there, like at all. Could have cut that whole thing out.
Yeah.
Nothing would have changed.
They could have just done like a stealth thing where
They
they
don't
had to
even help
sneak.
defeat him at the end.
No, because the ants do all the defeating. The
The
revolution
ants-
itself is
the
actually
ants ex
entirely
machina
worthless.
Who are kind of set up at the very start, and so
Well,
it's
yeah,
okay
we know-
that we use them to solve all.
We
of our
know that they're
problems.
there, and like they mention that like, oh, do we have any ants down here? Oh no, we don't. Okay.
Oh wait, we
Oh,
do.
but there were actually.
Oh, here, look, they're here to kill Kang for us. How convenient.
Also, there were not that many ants on that ant farm.
No, there weren't.
No way.
They must have
had a lot of babies.
had a lot of babies while
Maybe
they were
the-
in that time
Maybe
pocket.
the queen was just about to lay like 1 million babies.
Maybe, I don't know. It's dumb. It's a stupid joke. Was it? Did it? What? Am I?
That's the thing. I hate that Kang is defeated by a joke.
It's a Rick and Morty thing.
Yeah, the big MODOK comes in. He's like, "I'm not gonna be dumb anymore." I'm not gonna say what he actually says. And he says a thing.
Also, okay.
And then he blows himself up, and the ants
Real quick.
crawl all over the Kang.
Let's talk
and they
about
all
MODOK.
eat him.
Everybody's talking about MODOK. Why is he in this movie?
Yeah, why is he in this movie, and why does he suck?
Well, okay. The setup is fine. Like it's Corey Stoll.
I don't even mind him being that character or being
No,
in the
I'm
quantum
fine with
realm.
him being
Why
MODOK.
does he suck though?
No, but Ant-Man MODOK is a character that has nothing to in the comics, has nothing to do with Kang, has nothing to do with the quantum realm, and has nothing to do with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So why is he in Ant-Man 3? And why is he not like MODOK at all?
He's just a different character.
He's just a cyborg. He's a cyborg mercenary.
But he's like a really sucky one.
MODOK is not a brawler. MODOK is a guy who sits at the back of the room while his goons all run at the main character, right? He's not a guy who does his own fighting.
Now, that isn't to say he is, like, in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is, like, in my opinion, like, the best version of the Avengers. He's actually strong. Like, his like, beam actually, like...
He's got weapons.
It injures the Hulk at one point. Like, he's not a wimpy character.
He's not a goon.
Yeah, he's not a goon. He's a big bad.
He's not like a just charge straight at the good guy.
Like, he could have been... He should have been the main villain of this movie. The motivation would have made way more sense. He kidnaps Ant-Man's daughter because he's mad at Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Duh. And then Kang can be like a post-credit scene thing. I don't know why Kang was the main villain. Why?
Again, we talked about it earlier in the show, but it's we have to make an Ant-Man 3, and we have to do these plot points. And how do we... Let's just pick a plot point and put it in one of the movies. And they introduced Kang, and they put it in Ant-Man 3. Because Ant-Man 3, this movie is not like the other two Ant-Man movies at all. It's a completely different thing. We have the only characters that remain from the Ant-Man movies that are in this one are like the main 5. And that's it.
Yeah,
the main 5. It's Ant-Man, the Wasp, Old Ant-Man, Old the Wasp, and Cassie. Like, that's it. There's no Judy Greer. Michael Peña's not in the movie. Why was he not there? Why was Luis not there?
Well, I think it's because so little of it takes place in, like, the overworld. Like, it's all in the quantum realm.
Why can't he get sucked into the quantum realm?
Because he doesn't have a helmet.
Neither did Hank.
Yeah.
None of them have helmets.
Well, I think it's just because he wasn't there.
Just put him there. Who cares?
And, like...
He's just hanging out with them.
They already had too many characters. Like, they already didn't know what to do with half the characters.
Hank Pym did nothing. Not have to be
he
here.
had the ants.
Scott can also do the ants.
No, but he has the ants.
But why?
He has them.
Because he had to be in the movie?
Because they're his ants.
Michael Douglas is sleeping through this movie.
Yeah,
dude.
He was, like, not...
He did not care.
He was not even
a
part of it.
Which is illuminated further by the fact that Michelle Pfeiffer is, like, bringing her A game, like, trying her best here, and she's in a scene with Michael Douglas, who at this point is just checked out, and Bill Murray, who is in it for a bit and then goes home. Bill Murray's in this movie.
He was only in it for like 5 seconds.
He's in one scene, and then he's gone.
That's it. He disappears. He's gone. Gonzo.
Which I feel like he was just like, I want to be
in a Marvel
movie. I want to see what it's like, but I don't want to have to like do
I don't want to be a character. I think Bill Murray should have been like the Beyonder or like one of the Watchers.
I feel like
I think that would have been funnier.
I feel like he didn't want to have to do like multiple. Like he was like, I want to
show
to
be one and done
for a minute just to see what it's like and to get paid, and then I'll go home. Because, dude, you know how much he hates Ghostbusters? Like, imagine if he had to talk about like Marvel movies.
Yeah, he would hate that.
He would kill himself.
Well, actually, he would just stay inside. He would just never go outside again.
Well, like, people were yelling about him about Ghostbusters for like 30 years. Like, imagine that, but they're like, Bill Murray, now, can you tell us what's going to happen in Avengers 5? And he'd just be like, what's that?
Yeah.
But, yeah, MODOK, again, I feel like it doesn't feel like an Ant-Man movie. Like, it's a different
No, it feels like they were just shoved in. Okay, this was my biggest issue with the whole movie. Oh, my phone just died as the camera. Okay, that's not good. So I'm gonna...
Even with that battery pack?
Ooh, one sec. All right, there we go. Sorry. My camera died, so now we're both on this camera.
Look at that. Anyway.
So what I was saying is, Kang is supposed to be this villain for the next, like, Avengers, all the Avengers versus him.
Yep.
All the Avengers from, like, every timeline, like, mega war.
He's so big, we gotta go get the Fox X-Men.
But you can kill him with ants.
Yep.
That's a problem.
He's not a threat.
That's a huge problem.
Like, Captain Marvel and Thor could beat him up.
Thor could just sit on him and he would die.
If he gets beaten by just very large ants.
He had lasers that would like insta-poof people.
Yeah.
Except the main characters. Anytime they get hit with a laser.
Magic. It's just a concussive
It's just
beam.
like, it just kind of pushes them a little bit.
Instantly disintegrated.
And Ant-Man suits aren't like if it was an Iron Man suit, like, okay, maybe, like that makes a little bit more sense. Like that like protects you. But an Ant-Man suit, that's basically like a motorcycle jacket.
No, it's just like rubber.
Like it's
tubes.
like leather. Like it's not any more durable than what they were wearing.
In this, they got the magic button that just generates this around you, which I hate.
It makes it and the thing is that they didn't even have to. Well, I don't think it generates the suit. I think it's that the suit is shrunk.
I
think it's just
a
in the
button
thing.
and then it like forms.
It unshrinks.
That's just it's
because that's what they did before. Remember, he kept it on that little keychain.
Like that was like a more unique. Like I get why they did it. It's so that when they get sucked into the quantum realm, they have an excuse to have them with them.
But I think it's the same thing. I think it's now just stored in that puck.
But I like it better when they're like
when you had to put
they're
it
just
on.
like little suits that they carry and they have to like shrink it up and then put it like that makes it more unique for them. Like
but it makes
when Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America and Black Panther all just have suits that just like they press a button and then it just
Captain America's doesn't do that.
I think it did in Endgame. He like presses the button and then
only when
then it just armors up.
That was only his spacesuit though. That wasn't his regular suit.
It's boring.
And the spacesuits were all just Iron Man.
It's boring when they just press a button and then they're just a suit. It just appears.
Yeah, like it makes sense for Iron Man, but also
it makes sense for like late stage Iron Man who had upgraded his tech to that point.
It took him a decade worth of movies to get to the point where he had it like that.
The natural progression. It's like he starts off, it's big and clunky. He gets to like the suitcase,
and then he got in Iron Man 3. He had the one where he could summon it,
small little chunks, and then like you get to Infinity War. He's got the microbots,
and then that's a natural
got the microbots
progression
and the energy shield. Like you get the escalation.
Yeah, and Ant-Man,
it's like he had a cloth suit that he had to put on.
Now it just
and now it's a button and it just goes bloop.
Yeah,
and then Black Panther was the same thing where it's just like he had a physical suit, and then
but he got the nanotech one like immediately.
In Black Panther 1, they were just like, and it's nanotech, and now you don't gotta worry about it.
But vibranium is magic space metal, so which is dumb. Like as a crutch, it's very dumb.
Can we just define the concepts like loosely?
I think
a little bit.
I think they went a little too crazy with vibranium, but I think they're kind of
they gotta reel it back.
They're working it back in. Like
I don't know, they kind of went balls out in Wakanda Forever when they were like, it's an artificial sun.
Yeah,
it's the sun now. True. Also,
that didn't really make any sense.
Anyway, that's not the point. It feels so different from the other two. Like you can't even really judge it as an Ant-Man. It feels like a side story.
Yeah, all the Ant-Man characters aren't even there.
It feels like this would be like a 6-issue comic that would come out right before the actual Ant-Man 3, where they were like, hey, look, Ant-Man went to the microverse and he fought a guy and then they left.
That was another thing, is he leaves at the end.
There's zero consequences for anything?
No consequences.
Not for once. If you look at the good Marvel movies...
It's all the ones where the worst stuff happens to them.
No.
There's consequences.
If you look at the good Marvel movies and then you look at the bad ones, the main difference is that the good ones are character starts in a place and then ends in a different place.
Yeah.
All the rest of them, in this movie...
It's actually a joke how little changes.
Ant-Man starts off, everything's great, everyone's happy, ends the movie, everything's
Same
great,
exact
everyone's happy, nothing has changed.
They do that little joke where he's like, we'll never see him again, right? Anyways, moving on.
Which, I like that bit.
That was funny.
I like the idea that, like, he's, like, all of a sudden is, like, the constant threat of, like, existential doom. Like...
Yeah, but...
Because if you lived in the Marvel Universe, you would feel that literally every day, all the time. You would be like, okay...
Like a purple space man
is a big guy gonna fall out of the sky and disintegrate half of us today?
Yeah.
But, like, he starts in the same place, ends in the same place. What happens in Doctor Strange 2? Starts in the same place, ends in the same place. Nothing has changed, really, at all.
Yeah.
Like, Black Panther, sure, he starts in a place, ends in a different place. Better movie. Peter Parker, No Way Home. Starts in a place, ends in a much sadder place.
Yeah.
Things have changed. There has been a sacrifice. something in his character has evolved.
There's a clear and present change in the character. What
changes in Scott Lang in Quantumania?
He now knows there is scary stuff.
that he might have to deal with later.
He is aware that stuff can be
Thor,
bad.
Like Thor Love and Thunder, he kind of had an arc, but not really.
Thor Love and Thunder, I will argue he does. I mean, his character arc is already basically done. Like, Thor as a character is kind of complete.
That character's burnt out. He's got nothing else to do.
So they introduce a new element that might...
But it comes out of nowhere at the very end.
That might lead to him changing later. But at the moment, it's really just set up.
The ending of Thor 4 is just, like, thrown at you.
Yeah.
They're like, this character that has never shown an interest in having children, he's got a kid now.
Now he has to take care... But see, there's a difference because he has to take care of this kid instead of him
But that's not what that movie's about.
That's not what it's about.
At the end.
But I think that will lead to more interesting character interactions later on.
Maybe.
Like, the setup is interesting enough.
But, you look at Black Widow...
Nothing happened.
Does she change it all?
She's
couldn't. Literally the same.
She couldn't because she has to be the same character
and
because that movie takes place before other
ones. But, I just want,
in Eternals,
the Rick and Morty writer's room is famous, Dan Harmon is famous for his story circle, right?
Yeah.
Of his, plot structure. And that has, character must give up something to enter new zone of comfort, right?
Yeah.
That's a key part. That is not present in the script.
At all.
Ant-Man sacrifices nothing.
And
he loses nothing. He learns nothing. He goes in one way and comes out the same way.
There was a rumor going around the internet. I don't know how credible this is, but some people were saying that they did have sources that they were supposed to stay in.
The original ending.
Yeah, the ending had been changed the last minute.
Doesn't die.
Yeah.
He escapes, and Hope and Scott are stuck in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Which is
makes
a whole lot more sense.
That would have been that honestly would have saved a lot of the movie for me.
Yeah.
Because they don't defeat him with ants, he escapes.
Yeah.
He is more powerful than them because he should be more powerful than them.
And he's still set back because he doesn't have his suit anymore, right?
Yeah.
And you now put Scott and Hope in an interesting place where they're now in this realm. They're not familiar with
Which,
it.
by the way, they can instantly escape.
Oh, at
any time.
Why do they not ever mention this?
Yeah, okay. In the first movie,
how does he get out?
First Ant-Man movie.
How does Scott Lang escape the quantum realm?
He shrinks, and he's shrinking infinitely. He gets infinitely small to the point where it is just a void. So way smaller than he gets in this movie.
Yes.
And he is able to escape that by grabbing the last of the disc of the Pym particles and then boom, expanding himself back up, and that's how you leave the quantum realm, is you get big again.
Now, Sam, how do they escape the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp 2?
Magic portal.
But what do they use? What do they do in that? Do they get real small?
Magic
Sam,
portal.
Do they escape by slowly growing?
Magic portal. Magic portal, like Doctor Strange. Might as well have been Doctor Strange because they don't change it all, and it's just a magic portal, and they forgot their own movie rules.
I get that, Hope and Scott and Cassie could all get it, but like Hope and Janet would be stuck there because they don't have the magic suit.
So give them one thing of Pym particles.
No, what you would do is you expand, go to the real world,
grab the other two suits,
shrink back down. Have them put them on, and then have them shrink back up, and you're good.
Or if they don't have any more suits, give Hank the suit, make him big. He makes 2 more suits, comes back, gives you the suits. All of you leave.
They gave Cassie a suit.
They clearly have more suits.
They're just giving them out. Just give them to yourselves.
That was so. They're not even stuck there.
No,
they could just leave
at any time.
Anytime.
Like Cassie's stuck next to Kang.
Leave.
Big mode.
Get out. Escape.
I guess it didn't work.
Press the escape key.
Yeah, I guess it didn't work, though, for unspecified reasons.
No, okay, Cassie was
They don't even try it.
Yeah, they didn't even try.
They didn't even come up... at least if they came up with a BS reason why it doesn't work, you'd be like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but fine. But, they don't even mention the fact that that's a thing.
Let's say Kang had a quantum field generator that was preventing them from getting big.
Oh, in this area of the quantum realm, there's weird energy we can't get real big.
That's
fine.
There's a quantum detanglement field, and we can't get big here.
But they're not even... the regulator does literally nothing. It's just
the suit broke when we smashed and we landed too hard.
But they
and
used
it's
the
busted.
big mode in the movie.
They use big mode,
but they don't get really big mode.
They get like I guess with the scales of microscopicness we're dealing with here, they get a mathematically negligible amount bigger. But in the quantum realm, they become like giants.
Yeah, they're giant man, right?
That makes no sense because they can just keep getting bigger and then they just escape the quantum realm.
Nope. No.
They just forgot. I hate that they didn't bother watching the 2 movies this is a sequel to. They don't even have to watch the other Avengers movies. They just have to watch Ant-Man 1.
Yep.
They explain all of this in Ant-Man 1.
It's just not. I did not enjoy it.
It's not an Ant-Man movie.
I didn't enjoy it. I'm not hyped. I'm not disappointed because I don't have any like real expectations.
I'm disappointed that that's how little they care.
I'm just annoyed.
I'm disappointed that that's how little they care about their own
movies. Where they were like, do we need the main side characters?
Should we follow the rules that we made up?
Should we have any of the supporting characters who have appeared before just like show up for a second?
And there's a criticism that everyone says whenever I criticize Marvel movies. They're like, oh, it's a comic book movie. It doesn't matter if it's not consistent. If the rules that you make are not consistent within the movie you make,
then why does any of this matter?
Nothing matters and there are no stakes. Yeah. And people will argue, well, that doesn't matter. It's a comic book movie. If there is no stakes, you don't get invested in the characters, which is the whole point. Because if there's no stakes, then the characters don't care.
We can just get out of everything.
Yeah, there's no reason to do anything.
There's no risk. Which is my problem with this movie, is that nothing is lost or gained.
Yeah, it just happens.
Like,
it just starts and ends and the movie's over.
If you said, we gotta do an Ant-Man trilogy, and Hank Pym's gonna be old, you would think, logically, you get to the third one, the older mentor character is gonna be killed off.
Yeah.
No, he's not at risk.
No, he
does nothing.
He's still chilling. Actually, I would argue he's cooler now than he was.
Janet's fine. Hank's fine. Hope's a millionaire. Cassie's got superpowers.
Janet's got magic powers.
Scott is mildly concerned. Those are our conclusions that we drew. And Kang is dead. He's dead now.
Well, he's trapped in his orb, but that's dumb.
He's gonna come out. I know exactly where they're going with this. I don't have time to get into it, but it's dumb.
He gets trapped in his orb, and he gets out, and
he's gonna get out in Kang Dynasty. He's gonna form a shaky alliance with the Avengers to defeat all the other Kangs.
And then he'll turn on them, and
then once they do, he'll get all the powers when the universe explodes,
and then do Secret
Wars,
use
it to create Battle World, and then we'll all do Secret.
Maybe the more Kangs he kills, the stronger he gets.
That's dumb and probably.
Yeah, but if it is a thing, it would explain why he sucks.
Did you enjoy these post-credit scenes, Sam? Oh. I enjoyed the second one. I was just like, oh, hey, look at characters I enjoy. No, please don't go.
I would have enjoyed them more if the movie was good.
The first one was, goofy. The first one was laughable.
The first one was like, oh, geez, there's Kangs.
It's just Jonathan Majors in, a million different goofy outfits, doing a voice. And then the second one is...
The second one was better.
The second one is just a clip from Loki Season 2.
The second one is better.
Which is better because it's a Loki Season 1.
But it's
good.
Because they screwed Kang up so bad in this movie, he's not threatening anymore.
No.
He's not a cool villain anymore. He was a really cool villain in Loki.
Well, for that version that we saw.
Yeah, that version was really cool. And this version should have been really cool. But he wasn't.
Oh, Sam, don't worry. There's a million of them, so maybe one of them will be cool.
Such a disappointing turn.
Would you recommend Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
No, just watch Loki.
No,
just watch Loki and skip.
And you know what? When they do Kang Dynasty, they'll recap this movie for you.
Yeah, no, for real. Watch Loki. Skip this completely. Because Loki covers everything. This covers 1,000 times better.
Anything had happened in this movie, I would say maybe consider it. But because literally nothing important happens.
I will tell you the only important thing you need to know from this movie, which is the Ant-Man crew know who Kang is.
Yep.
If you know that, you can skip this movie.
Which you can realize based on the fact that they're on the same poster.
And actually, I implore you to skip this movie. I almost guarantee that it will make the other Avengers movies better.
Do a recap of this movie.
No, it'll be better because you won't see Kang fail like this, which makes him super lame. Instead, you'll see him when he's like super strong in Avengers.
This just...
Because when he's in
what
Loki...
a waste of a great cast.
In Loki, he's super cool. In Loki, he's like this awesome, like, grand planner who's been like subtly manipulating the entire multiverse behind the scenes. In this movie, he's like just some guy that they like throw some ants at.
Like
and
the Ant-Man,
he insta
the
dies.
Ant-Man cast is like made of 100% charisma, and the fact that like they're all just like wet blankets by this movie is absurd. Like Paul Rudd does his best. He's still fun to watch. But like, dear God, did they do everything in their power to make everyone as boring as possible?
I did some parts I thought were cool. I did like the when he's like when he shrinks down to fix the orb, and
that was neat.
He's in like the possibility zone where like every possibility that every choice he makes like splits and happens like in that microcosm, and there's like 1,000.
But also, that's never used for anything. It's just
it never comes up, but it looks cool.
It looks cool.
That's I liked that part.
You like from The Good Place being in it?
Yeah, he was funny. I actually did like him. He was funny, but he didn't do anything.
No, because this is now his MCU role as this guy.
Yeah, he's Mesmero or whatever, Mind Reader Man.
Talked about MODOK, who they killed off at the end.
Yeah, MODOK's,
which is fine because if this is the MCU version of MODOK, then I
don't want to see more of him anyways.
Yeah, that's about it. Really disappointed. If they do an Ant-Man 4, I want them to go back and just essentially make the Ant-Man.
Just retcon this movie?
If they do an Ant-Man 4, I just want them to call it Ant-Man and the Wasp 3.
Yeah.
Like, this was the main one, and then whatever that...
Like, that didn't
whatever
count.
That was just like a detour.
That didn't count. That wasn't real.
Because, like, I want to see the characters and the plot lines we already have established.
Yeah, like, what happened to Ghost? What's going on with his friends from the security firm? What's going on with his buddy who drives the van? What happened to the Ant-Man characters?
Why are they mentioning Cassie's mom and Judy Greer is just absent from
Not in the movie at all.
Is she dead? I don't know. What happened to Bobby Cannavale? Can Randall Park have a line in the next one? Remember when he was in this for 0.3 seconds and doesn't say anything?
So lame. Everything in this movie was like the worst possible version of itself.
Can we remember in Ant-Man 1 when they're escaping the Pym Tech lab and there's a guy from like one of the evil organizations who steals one of the Yellow Jacket particles?
Yeah.
Remember when that goes literally nowhere and is never mentioned again?
Yup, has not come up again.
I love it when they do sequel setup just for stuff they might do and they never end up doing it.
No, because clearly that's what they wanted to do, and they were told to change it.
And then they were like, Kang! We're doing Kang now!
Because that's what happened in Doctor Strange also. They were like, they set up...
the Wanda stuff, and then they were like, multiverse! Multiverse stuff!
Not even just the Wanda stuff, but the Mordo.
Yeah, the Mordo stuff.
Mordo. Like, they set that up. We're like,
so
no, never mind.
That they didn't kill him off at the beginning of that movie. That
would have been really lame.
So now they can actually like do a proper Doctor Strange sequel now.
I feel like this entire phase...
It's like detours.
These two phases of the MCU are like not related to the actual stories that they were trying to tell.
And Spider-Man, which happen to be the best movies, are the ones that are like just natural like build-ups of the movie before.
And Black Panther was also like they clearly had to detour from what they wanted to do. But
that wasn't their fault.
But it was blatantly obvious why.
Yeah.
This movie had no excuse.
No.
This movie was just bad.
They shoved Kang in it so that this one would make more money.
Like, the fact that Black Panther, with the conditions it was under, still managed to be better than almost everything else from the last two phases, save Spider-Man, is nothing short of miraculous. They were the only one of these movies that actually had something genuinely catastrophic happen during, to the creative process. And they recovered better than any of these other sequels have.
You know what would have been great?
You just keep doing the movies you wanted to do instead of doing other random
How
stuff.
you could have worked Michael Pena into this?
Had him be a villain or
What
something.
you do is you have him show up at the very end, and you're like, and he's in the quantum realm, and they're like, "How did you get here?" And then he does his whole recap bit.
That would have been awesome.
This is, and it's just like him talking to like all the quantum, like all the weird.
That would have been so good.
Like they just didn't. It makes it's frustrating. I don't even like the first two Ant-Man movies that much,
but they're way better than
this.
this.
Third one, then just do a third one.
Here's my dream pitch for the ending. All right, Kang beats the snot out of him and escapes. Right, except for his daughter and Hank and other name, they escape. But Ant-Man and the Wasp are stuck there,
and Michael Pena's there too.
In the post-credits scene, Michael Pena's just there. And they're like, how are you here? And then he does this whole little thing. And then in like Kang Dynasty or whatever, he's like in there with them and he helps them escape or whatever. But like, that would have been so funny. It writes itself, too. That's such a funny idea.
How do you not?
Oh, that sucks that that's not in the movie. That's so lame.
It's frustrating. It's fine though, because I know they'll do
like he just goes to their lab to like bring her like a cake for like getting out of jail, and he like happens to go into their basement, like he stumbles through the portal or whatever,
and then he has to like talk to all the people to figure out what's going on.
It turns out like he was like responsible for like multiple different events in the movie, like by accident. That would have been so good.
Nope.
No, they didn't do that.
Sam, instead
there's a guy with holes. He wants holes in him. Isn't that a funny character? Don't you want to...
That's literally a Rick and Morty character.
Don't you want to count how many holes you have while you're sitting there in the theater?
It's so dumb. I hate it.
Drink the ooze.
This guy's writing
the buildings are alive.
Sam, this guy's writing...
I got a poof stick. What if I poof you with my poof stick?
At least he's not writing Secret Wars.
What if I hit you with my poof
Wait,
stick?
is Michael Waldron writing Secret Wars? I think Michael Waldron might be right. Please don't tell me. I'll Why would you go, hey, Rick and Morty writer's room? You want to run Marvel?
You want to do all the stuff forever?
Because obviously, based on recent news, this is who you want in charge.
Yeah. Naturally.
Oh my god, it is my... Damn, it's...
That's so lame. What are you... Disconnect. Keeps using it as a MacBook camera.
Two worst scripts of the phase. Have the guys... Terrible scripts. Writing.
That's good. Alrighty, well, we gotta end it here because this episode's 3 hours long.
Yep. We got through a lot. We'll be back next week for Cocaine Bear, Sam.
Let's go! Cocaine
and
Bear.
We're approaching the 100th episode. What are we gonna do?
Man, I wish that they came out at the same time.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
You know what?
We have some ideas though.
I want to. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
All right. Bye, everybody.